Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up, weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits. Hopefully this weekend was everything you needed it to be and more. And if I saw you guys at CrimeCon, hello. Hopefully you guys had a good time at CrimeCon. I had a really good time at CrimeCon, and we are going to talk about that in just a little while. But we got some things we got to talk about. There's some things that happened over this weekend that I didn't get a chance, or that happened Friday, really, that I didn't even get a chance to really cover and talk about. And there's new developments and new information that's going on right now as we speak, revolving around this case as well. So we got some things we got to talk about. We got a special guest coming onto the show to talk with us because they had an exclusive with JP themselves. It was absolutely crazy and a very, very interesting interview, to say the least. And we're going to be looking at that here in just a minute. So please do me a favor. There was a lot going on this past weekend. There's a lot that happened this past weekend. We got Chad Daybell information, all that stuff. It's crazy. We're going to talk about those things, okay? And then some. So please do me a favor, okay? And if you missed me, because I missed you guys. Like, seriously, I missed you guys. I missed being on here, but I had to go out there and do that thing. And that was interesting. We're going to talk about that. CrimeCon 2024. Very, very interesting, legendary, great time, pretty wild. But nonetheless, so much happened over the past couple days, and I couldn't get on a microphone or get into the studio and chop it up with you guys. So I really missed you guys. So we got a little bit of coverage, a little bit of catch up, and we're going to get right into it in just a second. So please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms, okay? If you're watching on YouTube, crush that like button down below. That'd be really, really helpful, okay? And of course, do not forget to crush that subscribe button if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, please, okay? Do that. Hit that follow button on all my platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or X, you know what I mean? TikTok, all of them. Go show some love. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. And subscribe. I know I just said it, but just do that for me. Subscribe twice if you can. All right. And of course, if you want to support the channel, go over to my page. All right. Hit that join button down below, become a member, or go over to patreon.com/The Pascal Show. It's underneath me right now, that ticker going this way as we speak. Okay. Now, we got to get into some things here really quick. And as I was saying, I have some things that I want to share with you guys first before I bring my guest on, okay? Now, I know that we have been talking about this for a while. We've been covering the Mica Miller case, and there's been some very interesting and shocking developments, or I wouldn't say they were shocking. I just think that they've been very questionable. Very, very questionable things that have gone on revolving around Mica Miller's case. Now, a lot of us are curious, did something happen here, right? Did something sinister happen here? Was this done? What happened to her? Was this done by her own hand? Now, I know a lot of us are leaning on that side of that there's a possibility that this was done in some sinister type of way. But then there is a possibility that she did do this. Of course, that this was all self-inflicted. But I do think that there is something that happened here that pushed her to the edge. That's the side that I'm leaning on, right? That's the side that I'm leaning on more than ever. That something happened that pushed her to the point where it pushed her to the edge. And again, my heart breaks, literally. My heart breaks for this case, and my heart breaks for the family, because her family is just trying to get down to the bottom of this and trying to figure out what actually happened here. Okay. It's crazy. All right. Cicada, no, it's not JP. It's not JP. Okay. But before I bring our guest onto the show, and and read the title. Read the title above or down below, wherever you're watching the show. Just read the titles. Just take your time, read it. The guest name is in the title. Okay. So I know a lot of people are thinking exactly what Michael Edge is thinking as well. All right. Her husband did it, in my opinion. Right. A lot of people are thinking that as well. I have been leaning on the side of I think she was pushed to the edge. I think that this person could very well be responsible for the reason why she did go down this terrible route and possibly made this unthinkable, unfortunate, and tragic decision. All right. But real quick, sorry, guys. 1 second. 1 second. All right. Sorry, just making sure everything is Gucci before we venture down this road. Now, here's the thing. JP, all right, as you know, we already know about Micah, okay, but JP is the pastor, and I guess if you really want to call him a pastor, all right, he went to his congregation during a sermon or during a service, near the end of his service. Just so you guys know, I got an announcement to make. I'm not going to, I don't need y'all talking about it right now. Okay. Just soak it in, kick rocks. Let it be. You guys can talk about it outside of this building, but do not talk about this at all. Okay. But I found out that my wife lost her life yesterday. It was self-inflicted, so on and so forth. Right. And of course, this is a reaction or an announcement that basically launched 1,000 speculations, not only because of how he said these things, but the information that he said in his announcement. It was very callous. It was very shocking. And just how, oh my God, it was just so bad. How do you tell your congregation, people who loved her, people who prayed with her, had a spiritual connection with her, his co-leader, if you will, in this church? How do you tell your congregation about this tragedy in this fashion? So, of course, everybody and their mom has been looking at this, and they've been side-eyeing, soft side-eyeing, or hard side-eyeing this situation like crazy, right? And so have I. It's grabbed the attention of this entire world, it seems like, because there's been more information that we've learned from the affidavits that we've looked up at, police reports, family members, her own family members speaking out and saying, hey, this man was a monster. This man is, present tense, a monster, made this woman's life a living hell. And all we want to know is what actually happened here, right? Everybody's been wanting to know what's going on. One of our guests that's going to be on here with me in a little bit has been covering this case like crazy as well. Now, the thing is that, of course, everybody's been side-eyeing JP. Everybody's been asking the questions, the necessary questions that need to be asked. People have been driving by his house, in fact, and showing his home and all that. And don't worry, we're going to talk about all that stuff too, because there's been new updates as of late that hopefully we're going to be able to, because there's been speculations allegedly floating around that I'm hoping we will be able to debunk here in this conversation, in this show as well. But during this particular show, Justin on TikTok, the guest that we're going to be having on here in just a little bit, had an interview, or actually he was having a conversation with Robbie Harvey from the content creator, The Robbie Harvey, right? Both of them have been doing very extensive work into this case. And so out of nowhere, JP Miller, John Paul Miller, Pastor JP, hops on the live. on TikTok, which is insane. Okay. Now, what's crazy about that is not only the fact that, how do I say this? It's crazy the fact that he just got on this live, but it's also crazy what he says in this interview. And I'm going to play a good chunk of it. I'm not playing the whole thing. We got Justin on TikTok that's going to be sharing or hopping on the show here in just a little bit after we look at this video. And I got questions, guys. I got questions, but I'm going to play this video. Like I said, we need to take a look at this interview itself. Hold on. Let me just get it all set up so we have it. Okay. And what's crazy to me, okay, I mean, look, I'm just gonna look at the dude like smizing a little bit. You know what I mean? He's doing the squinty eye thing, like he's doing his own Magnum steel or whatever that thing is, Zoolander. Okay, I'm not gonna roast him too much here because we got to listen to what he has to say. And honestly, a lot of what he has to say is making the internet lose their mind. They've been losing their mind for the last couple days because this happened, if I remember correctly, this happened Thursday night. And then, of course, Friday I was traveling, so I couldn't cover anything. And then I was at CrimeCon. Some crazy stuff. So I want to share with you guys this, and I'm going to see if I can zoom in. Nope, that don't work. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We ain't going to do that. So we're going to do this. We're going to take a look at this interview itself. Okay. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it is a little, the audio is kind of, you know what I mean? It's a little wonky, but we're going to get as much as we can out of this interview. And like I said, it is, I got questions, guys. So do me a favor, hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear this. All right. Make sure everything's unmuted. And let's rock and roll, shall we?
This is in regard to Robbie Harvey, guys. A friend of yours who's an attorney advised you not to speak to Robbie due to the defamation.
Let me skip ahead through this really quick, okay? Because this is, and okay, let me also just mention really quick. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, this is totally impromptu. I want to make that abundantly clear. This from the live, because I was watching it too. I was watching it as it was going down live. This was very impromptu. This was not something that just, this was not a planned thing. It just out of nowhere happened. Okay. And from my understanding, Justin does not know JP and JP does not know Justin at all. Okay. So I want to make that abundantly clear too. But let's take a look at this, like I said, and then we're going to bring Justin on.
5,400. 5,400. And I would imagine with your face here, it's probably going to go up exponentially. JP's earbuds have no effect on this camera.
Justin, tell me,
No, your earpods aren't going to help.
I don't hear well anyways.
Gotcha.
Interesting. He said that, don't you think? Hold on. I mean, he honestly, that comment right there really does deserve don't you think? He doesn't hear very well. Get it? Nobody gets that? Somebody does. Somebody in the group understands exactly what I'm trying to say here. But let's continue on. Let's go.
Okay, so tell me about yourself. What kind of show is this? Or what kind of, is this TikTok? Are we on TikTok? And
this is TikTok.
Are
I
you
also
like
have
just
like, what do I do?
Yeah, like what is this? What is this? Are you a crime person, or are you you just
Gotcha.
like what is your passion for this?
Can I don't mean to interrupt every 5 seconds. I promise I'm going to let this roll. But I'm telling you right now, I truly believe in my heart of hearts that JP's lying right now. I think he knows exactly who Justin on TikTok is, but he's trying to act like he all brand new. He knew exactly who Robbie was. Let me explain something to you. In the very beginning of this clip, it's a long clip, so that's why I cut through it. Okay, JP Justin and Robbie Harvey were on a live together, and they were with somebody else as well. All right, talking about the case. Then out of nowhere, they run into JP. JP comes on to this live randomly, but he sees that Robbie Harvey was on there, and he said, I will talk to Justin, but I will not talk to Robbie. Then Robbie's sitting there, totally taken aback, totally understand that. I'd be surprised too. Like, why are you getting mad at me? All I'm doing is telling the story, right? All I'm doing is telling the people the information, right? But finally, Robbie says, okay, I'll step down and let's Justin have this interview. But you cannot tell me, you know who Robbie Harvey is, but you don't know who Justin on TikTok is. I'm sorry, that's a bold-faced lie. That's just what I think. And I get it. The internet is vast and there's a lot of content creators out here, but why he acting brand new? I'm telling you right now, this is somebody who likes to manipulate people all day long. I've watched this a couple times now, okay? That's why I say I have questions, because there's things that he says here that revolve around Micah Miller, autopsy, toxicology reports, etc., that he just throws random things in there, slipping these things in there that people went wild on. I'll explain here in a little bit. Let me continue. I'm sorry, but I call BS on this. Who are you? What you do? You crime podcaster? What you cover? I don't know who you are. While I massage my beard every time and look at the comment section, just make sure everything's cool. You know, what are they saying about me in there? But what you do, he knows exactly who the hell this guy is. Come on. All right.
Gotcha. So my platform is true crime and current events, primarily. There is some narcissistic, toxic family stuff, which is how the platform started. I've also written 2 children's books over that. So I have this on this platform. I've got 1.3, almost 1.4 million followers on. I have YouTube as well and Instagram, of course, and that's typically what it is.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great. Can I answer some of the people that are saying stuff? Would that be okay?
Notice that he's on an interview with Justin on TikTok. Like randomly, he's supposed to be having a conversation with Justin on TikTok. And he's more focused on looking at the comment section than actually wanting to have a conversation with Justin. And I don't mean that it's not no disrespect or diss to my boy Justin. All I'm saying is he's there to talk to him. If he wants to go and have a live, go and do a live, bro. Talk to the comment section later. You're here with him. And he wants to ask you questions. But okay. I've already said too much.
You can answer what it's. Hey, here's the thing. It's yours. Do what you want.
So somebody asked about my tattoos, and so these are my favorite scriptures are here, but I got one at a time because I didn't think I was going to ever get more than one tattoo, and I just kept going back and going. That's what that is. I'm going to wait till my side. Everybody stay with it.
It's breaking up. It's lagging a little bit, JP. Hold on. There it goes. I think you're back.
We got it green. I don't know why it's lagging.
But what is your day-to-day life feel like? I'm a hermit now, and I love interacting with people. I don't get to do that much now, but it says if your Wi-Fi is on, turn it off.
It's turned off.
It's turned off, he says.
But
he's
the
not on
neighborhood we
Wi-Fi.
live
It's
in,
too far from his house.
this neighborhood doesn't pick up AT&T well.
Yeah.
Can I? Is it okay if I ask you a question that somebody asked?
Come on, talk, bang.
I'll see. Let me say this. I want to answer everything, but I don't want to answer it without me holding up my proof and showing it to you, because I think it's just ignorant for someone to just give, their opinion or say something and not have proof behind it when it's something as serious as this is.
Okay. I am going to interject there. If you're sitting here going, okay, I really want to answer all y'all questions, and I got things I want to tell you and everything, but I gotta have the facts before I show, and answer all these questions and everything. Then why are you on this live, man? Why are you on this live? I'm just asking for a friend. Why are you on this live then? With all due respect, I will say this. This man could be innocent until proven he is innocent until proven guilty. We have to put that out there. That's on the table at all times. He could have nothing to do with the actual pew-pew of this situation, right? The bang-bang. I do believe he pushed her to the edge. That's what I believe. And at some point, he will have to come to terms with that and accept or be forced to be held accountable for that, either in this life or in his afterlife. Whatever it may be, it's coming. But at the same time, you are on this live, and now you're going, oh, no, I need receipts first. I mean, I'd love to do it. I'd love to answer all y'all questions, but I need all the facts. I need the evidence first before I can, give you guys the information. Then why the hell are you on this live? Why are you on this live? Because everything that anybody's going to ask is going to require from you, as you say, receipts. So why are you on this live? Just saying. Let's continue.
And so I'll be doing that next week, and I'll love to send you the proof and everything along with the affidavit, most likely.
Okay.
Oh, am I allowed to touch it and scroll down? Because somebody said something I couldn't see. They said,
It's going fast.
JP. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's going fast. Who said be respectful? That was so nice. Someone named Bonnie.
Well, so my lives, JP, we don't tolerate, no matter who it is, no matter what the situation, we don't tolerate people being disrespectful to other people in here as well as the guests. And at this moment, you're the guest, so it's not going to be tolerated.
I approve that message, Justin.
I have not even start grieving yet. Not even 1 minute. Every time I go to, something else happens that I have to deal with. So I'm planning on, once this is all over, taking some time and doing what I need to do to grieve. But in my mind, she's gonna text me tomorrow and say, hey. So I haven't even started. That. So, and my wife's name is spelled with no H at the end.
I'm gonna skip through a little bit of this.
That means it's okay. So, how did you get hooked up with Robbie Harvey? Because y'all seem extremely different.
I'm gonna move on from this because clearly, let me be real. He's got a problem with Robbie Harvey. Robbie Harvey's been doing a good job covering this case, asking the questions that need to be asked and all that stuff. So he ain't doing anything wrong, Robbie Harvey. And Justin's, what's interesting though? Justin's doing the same thing. Justin and Robbie Harvey are doing the exact same thing that even I'm doing right now. And all the other people that have been covering this case. Everyone's covering it the exact same way, going, what is going on here? And I'm side-eyeing this mother lover and all that stuff, right? It's interesting. Like I said, I feel like this is a game that he's playing. I'm going to charm the pants off of Justin here, but by throwing shade at Robbie Harvey because I want him on my team. I want Justin to like me. Maybe he'll back off on telling these stories and doing his investigative work that he's been doing, which has been excellent work. I'm gonna skip through this bull crap though. Okay, let's get into it.
Well, the way that I look at it is that, you know what, if you want a platform to speak and share do the same questions over and over, whereas on YouTube people can go back halfway through it and rewind it so they don't miss something. So it's a very different. So I mean, to be very frank with you, if you wanted to do something, it would probably be better to do it on YouTube because then you don't have to. That's a lot of people made a big. I don't say a big issue, but we'll say big deal about was a necklace that you were wearing in the interview after she passed away. Was that actually hers, or did you just have a similar one?
No, that was definitely hers. I got it. So she passed away on the Saturday, and then Sunday when I went and saw her, they handed me some stuff, and that was one of the things they handed me. And that necklace was, for some reason, she's heard a story. Micah was very she could hear something or see a commercial and then immediately want to act on it. And so she heard about these lab diamonds last year, and so even though she loved her wedding engagement band, she wanted the real diamond taken out of that, and she wanted a lab diamond put in, but she didn't want to get rid of that diamond, so she wanted to put it inside of a necklace. And so
I keep wondering. I am kind of curious about the diamond part. Like, if she was sitting there going, "Okay, I'm worried that it could be a blood diamond. Hence the reason why I don't want to have this diamond on my ring anymore, because it's a constant reminder of what men and women and children go through just to, retrieve these diamonds in Africa and in other countries, other parts of the world as well. And I guess that's the reason why she did the lab diamond. But then why would she still? I guess I still am kind of curious as to why she would still keep it in a way. I don't know. I keep thinking that he's just kind of making up a story that may not fully be true. But that's just me.
I made into a necklace for her. He was wearing that, and the nurse gave me that on that Sunday. And so before I even left the hospital, I already had it on.
Okay.
I just had not taken it off, and actually I'd forgotten it was on the next day or two, or whenever that interview was. I just, but yeah, it's a girl necklace, so I just wanted to feel close to her, so I wore it.
And I will say this too. This could very well be true too, that he got the necklace from the people, medical examiner's office, whatever, and said, here's a property that that was on her. Would you like it? And he just took it and kept it. And he could very well just want to feel close to her. You know what I mean? This is a man who still did lose his wife, whether it was by his hand or not. Maybe this is a token to remember her by. I don't, or a souvenir. I know some people might look at that and go, "Ooh, that's a souvenir." I don't know. All I know is I don't know if I fully believe that full story, but I guess only time will tell, right?
When they gave it to me.
Okay. I appreciate you answering it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go
Just
inside.
one other question.
Okay.
They swear up down that you bought a new truck, and it's
Car
not
stuff.
a new truck. You
No,
just
it's
wrapped
not a
it
new
on
truck.
it, right?
Yeah, just put some stickers on it.
Yeah, he just wrapped it in vinyl and took the stickers off the windows. But people were calling me a liar. I'm like, I see the truck every day.
You had video, yeah. When you got close, you could see that it was a vinyl wrap, and so I actually made that correction.
It's not even
I don't
vinyl
know,
wrap,
we
it's
can
just
have
tape. We just put some tape on the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it comes right off. You just
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you have her cremated? Someone said. I did that because that's what she wanted. We talked a lot about what would happen if one of us passed, and that's something Micah wanted and something I want as well, because we don't believe that the body matters as believers, and so that's what she wanted. Yeah. I'm still wearing my wedding ring. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm still wearing it.
Do you have anything else for him?
And you can you can love somebody and be separated, and you can love them just the same and be divorced. You can love them just the same, be with them. Sometimes it doesn't stop your love for the person. It's like having a kid that you love them and they do something that you don't like, but you still love them the exact same.
It's true. He's got a point. But at the same time, he also has a habit and a pattern of doing this. We've already seen police records, et cetera, of things that he's done in the past when it came to his first marriage, his first divorce, or his only divorce, actually. But you know what I mean? We saw how he was acting and all that. It's like, you're mine kind of thing. It's bad. It's bad. And now we're seeing it again all over again, right? He didn't change his ways. He didn't learn from his ways. He can continue to try to control even Micah as well. We all saw that in police records, but let's let him continue.
All the abuse that people are throwing at me, I just pray that none of y'all have to go through anything like this, because it's not difficult.
And I'm not going to ask you this question right now. Obviously, if you want to talk more, and I can text with you and we can get something scheduled if you want to do that. Obviously, because when with this type of a situation, there are no more secrets about your past or anything that you've done in the legal system. So that's been out there. That being said, obviously there's a lot of documents back and forth. Her filing reports against you, you filing reports against her. And so if you ever want to chat about any of that, again, respectfully, and from your version, we're happy to give you that platform.
I will say this, I commend Justin and any other content creator that's willing to expand a little bit and go, hey, all right, well, let's get the opposing view. Let's get the guy that everybody is not for, that's not supporting or is side-eyeing. He deserves his side of the story out here as well. But that's called journalism, everybody. Just so you know. That's called journalism. And I know that some people don't like that, but at the same time, it's fair. It's fair. You get to hear both sides of the thing. If people are attacking Justin for that, that would be ridiculous. He's just doing his job. Okay. Honestly, I know that he's streaming right now on his platform right now too. So hi, Justin, on TikTok, YouTube channel watchers. I don't know what he calls his viewers. I don't know if he's like fam or, my JOs. I don't know what you call them, bro. Maybe you'll figure that out or you'll let me know. But this is on his platform. Creole Lady said, can a pastor be married twice? That's a good question. I thought they can only get married once and it's for life, but I don't know. Every church is different. Every church is different. And it's sometimes these churches will move the goalpost over just to make it work out for that particular pastor, right? We hear those stories all the time. Okay. But again, guys, if you're watching over here, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. Please, please, please. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button as well. That'd be greatly appreciated as well. I talk a lot about a lot of different things, everything from true crime all the way to pop culture and everything in between. We do a little bit of political if there's something big going on in the political realm. But we mostly stay in the true crime and the pop culture and in between realm. Okay, guys. So please hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button, and let's continue on. Let's get him to the meat and potatoes of this, right?
There's something I learned through this that I don't think the world knows. I don't think America knows, and that is, on a police report, you can lie and say anything you want to say. You can say that Big Bird killed Cookie Monster on Sesame Street, and they have to write it down.
Correct.
And so a lot of people take police reports as fact. It's not a fact that somebody said it. The other thing you can do is people can actually line affidavits. You can write anything you want to in an affidavit, and it doesn't matter. That's why it's important whenever you're trying to find truth in the affidavit. You look for what exhibits that. But that's something I've learned through all this stuff.
This is the stuff that he learned just recently. Actually, I think what happened is he watched way too many TikToks and way too many YouTube videos, and now he's just trying to move the goalpost. That's just what I think. You know what I mean? That's just the vibe I'm getting from this. To be completely real, just keeping it 100 with y'all. I think he's just going, okay, I'm going to say all these things because of all the affidavits and all the police records that have been put out here. Sure, there's things that are being said in an affidavit about him that were being said by his then wife, Micah, basically saying, hey, this guy is a monster. He's doing this, this, and this, and this. Sure, that is hearsay to a certain extent. But at the same time, if there is proof, if she has folders and files of things that would destroy this man, then all that stuff is going to speak for itself very, very soon. But you can't deny the fact that you got someone who is sitting here saying, I am fearful for my life. He has put me through situations that I never thought I would ever be put through. He plied me with chemicals, if you get what I'm saying. All right, party favors. He's had me conduct or had me engage in activities with other people, with strangers in our marital bed. I mean, you got all these things that are being said to these families, and they're putting in the affidavit. Sure, it is hearsay. Sure. It's just what is being said to them. But at the same time, there's some very damning things to put into an affidavit if it wasn't true. Just saying that out loud.
People assume things. People are incredibly Someone says about an autopsy. You're not an answer, are you?
Why no autopsy?
I asked for an autopsy when I was there Sunday, and I asked I either asked the head nurse or asked the medical examiner, somebody, and they just brushed me off and said, "There's no need. There's no need." And I said, "I didn't know anything. I just asked for one just because I thought it was the right thing to do. Not that I thought anything."
Really?
Um,
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm going to rewind that again because that's some bull right there. I'm sorry. I'm going to roll that back one more time for you guys in those nosebleed seats, because that to me is a lie.
I asked for an autopsy when I was there Sunday, and I asked I either asked the head nurse or asked the medical examiner, somebody, and they just brushed me off and said, "There's no need. There's no need." And I said, "I didn't know anything. I just asked for one just because I thought it was the right thing to do. Not that I thought anything. I just thought that's what you're supposed to do when someone you love dies young. You just ask for an autopsy."
Oh, is that what you do when someone dies young? That's what you do when somebody dies young? You ask for an autopsy. Can we just let that soak in for a second? Get it all the way down to your plums for a second, ladies and germs. Make that make sense. If he asked for the autopsy, they should have done the autopsy. Why would they just suddenly brush him off? Like, "Sir, there's no need. Pastor JP, there's no need. There's no need, sir." Huh? And then if that was the case, then why wouldn't he push back and say, "Well, why not then? I want an autopsy, dagnabbit." Why didn't he do that? Riddle me this, Batman. That's a lie. You're telling me medical examiner office would not sit there and do it if you request for it? I'm sorry, guys. That is a lie. Okay? I'm sorry. The Oscar goes to Pastor JP. Thank you very much. I'm so proud. Like to thank the Academy for all the hard work. Meisner and Strasberg and Stella Adler. I learned a lot from them and watched a lot of Marlon Brando movies and learned something real quick. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. These are all lies, guys. I'm sorry. That's what I think. These are all lies. You cannot tell me that he went into that medical examiner's office and they brushed him off when they asked, when he specifically pushed for an autopsy. That is a lie. Yeah. That's a lie. We're going to continue.
And but then I said, well, what about, finding out if she was on medicine or what kind of medicine or if she was pregnant or anything like that? And they said, you need a toxicology report. I said, okay, well, I want that. So they said, yes. So a toxicology report was ordered, and I'll have the results of that. I think they said it could take months, but it could be anywhere from 3 more weeks to 3 months. So.
There was a story here, and I live in the Nashville area, but there's a story here in Nashville. I don't know how closely you follow this type of stuff, but Riley Strain, a young college kid who was here from Missouri, fell into her. Anyways, they ordered his toxicology. I think 3 months later, we were still waiting on it, and it just finally came back. And even now, the results haven't been officially released, so it can take a while.
Yeah, and I don't know if it'll be able to even tell me what I want to know, but we'll see.
Okay, now I'm going to stop it right there. Okay, because I highly recommend you guys going over to Justin on TikTok. Go check out the full interview. Okay, but that's kind of the meat and potatoes of the interview in itself. The rest is kind of like it's a little glitchy and all that. And I really do hope that JP goes back onto his platform or somebody else's platform with a stronger signal, okay, or just dagnabbit internet, okay, and just answers some questions. But I do feel like this was all a manipulation. I don't think that this was fully the truth. The other part is the pregnancy part, because I saw a lot of people were talking about it going, wait, Micah could have been pregnant. And I honestly think that he was throwing certain words and certain things in there to mess with the viewers' heads, because it takes us down a different route. Now, just because if she putting out the speculation of her being possibly pregnant before she passed and all that stuff, it doesn't mean anything sinister. but it does add a little bit more to the narrative, right? Don't know. Toxicology report will come back and tell us. But at the same time, in my mind, I don't look at the toxicology report saying anything that's going to give us anything new. Does that make any sense? It's not going to automatically say, oh, this is what happened here, and this is the reason why there was the weapon there, and she did what she did. No, I don't think so. I really don't. Because it's not the thing that took her off this planet. That weapon is the thing that took her off this planet. Now, whether somebody was holding the weapon, or she was holding the weapon herself, or she was forced to hold the weapon up to her head and all that stuff, those are the pieces of information that need to be put out here or need to be exposed. But what would have been even more helpful is if there was an autopsy, guys, that allegedly he was asking for, and then they said, there's no need. Like, these are not the Jedis you were looking for. These are not the droids you were looking for. Come on, guys. I call BS. He's been watching these videos. He's watching these YouTube channels. He's watching these TikToks. He's listening to the commentary. He hears everything that people are coming out with. He is hearing about these reports that are being read out loud on shows like mine, Justin's, Robbie Harvey, JLR, all the people that have been talking about this case, keeping a close eye on it. He's watching every single last one of them. And he's acting like he's all brand new here when he ain't brand new. He's been known about Justin. I guarantee you that. I will say that. That's just my personal opinion. All right. But he knee deep in this true crime realm, because everything is about, this conversation is all about him and revolves around him right now. But like I said, I highly recommend you guys going and checking out the full interview. Okay. Justin did a really great job talking with him and all that. And I hope he gets around too. You know what I mean? Like a part 2 conversation with him with better internet and where he can actually ask more questions. Because I think that this dude, as you can see it in here, he looks too busy looking at the comment section than he is actually talking to Justin. And that is not a dig or a criticism on Justin. Justin did his damn job. But I'd love to see a part 2. And hopefully he gets it soon. So here's the thing. First off, before we get into everything, okay, do this, hit that like button, please, and thank you, okay? And if you're watching on just on TikTok's platform as well, hit that like button down below. I'm going to do this for both of us right now. So hit that like button down below if you're watching over there. Give him some love. Hit that like button down there, all right? Do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on his platform and you're a first-time watcher over there. Or if you're watching over here as well, please crush that subscribe button. If you're watching on my Facebook or any of my other social medias, please do me a favor, hit that follow button over there as well. Okay, your boy works hard out here in these streets, okay? Works really hard out here in these streets, man. So please show some love, do me that favor and all that. Now, there are a couple things I do want to say. I got some super chats I want to get to. There's only 2 of them. Let me get these, and then I'm bringing my friend onto the show. So, Breezy, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hi, friend. It was so great. It was so great meeting you and JB at the Falls. Thanks for letting me have the table. Of course, it was great meeting everybody. We had a really great time. A lot of people I have never met before that I've only talked to virtually, right? Met through online. I got a chance to meet in the flesh, okay? Including our friend that's going to be on here very shortly. I got a chance to rap with him and meet with him for the first time, which is awesome because I've been talking to him for a long time now, outside of this, outside of this show. So it was great meeting as many people as I could. Before I pull up this other one, I was flying under the radar. I didn't know if I was going to go or not. I bought a ticket and I just kick rocks. I went out there as quickly as I could. And I just wanted to see it for myself, just as a consumer, as a fan and all that. And I just went around and I just, was having fun and kicking it and just meeting all the people that I've connected with throughout the years in the true crime realm. And it was really, really great. Some people recognized me. A lot of people didn't. It's totally fine. There was much bigger faces and much bigger names out there that really deserve the attention and the love. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was great to see everybody and just be there. You know what I mean? As a consumer, it was cool. As a fan, right? Tired. What's up? I think he wants to see if she took her medication, and if it's not in her system, he can place blame. You know what? Actually, that's the other one too. Good point right there too. Maybe he was looking at that and trying to see, does she have lithium in her system? Does she have the medication that she needs? Because then he could literally go, see, she was unwell. She was unwell and she needed her meds and she didn't get her meds on time. That's the vibe I'm getting as well. Because the toxicology, like I said, what is it going to do? Except this was in her system. She had some caffeine. She was drinking a coffee. What, you know what I mean? Like, what's it going to do? It's not going to give us an idea of what happened, right? It's not. But he's going to use it. He's going to try to smack it up, flip it, and rub it down into another narrative, all right? Or to at least fit his narrative. Women, please beware of those who are crying out for help. Indeed. Yes. Breezy, your voice is like a combination of Fergie and Jesus. I'm done. Okay, step brothers. I see what you did there. Okay. Yeah. We had fun. I sang a little bit too. It was a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Impromptu, random, but I had a good time. Like I said, we all hung out and the energy was good. The energy was great. Finally got to meet the Patito Schmidt family in person. Which was awesome. Basically spent the whole weekend with them, which was incredible. But we will talk about that in a little bit. Speaking of CrimeCon, though, somebody I did finally get to meet in the flesh was my brother, Justin, on TikTok. You just saw his face next to JP's face. I want to bring my friend on to talk about this interview, and there's some other things that he wants to drop on the show as well. What's Justin?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Man, you got one on your side.
Do I have something on my side?
Yeah, maybe it's the I don't know what it is.
Is that better?
There's an echo like crazy.
Should I log out and come back in?
Hold on, let me see here.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's weird.
I yielded. I'm using the exact same setup you have because you told me to.
I know. But yeah. Hop off and hop back on. Or did you mute the show on your platform?
No, I muted from the little button on the Roadcaster, but that was it.
Interesting.
I can log out and come back.
Yeah. Log out, come back in.
Okay, be right back.
All right. But yeah, we could chop it up a little bit about CrimeCon. I met a lot of people. Everyone from all the people, like Brian Enton, Ashley Banfield, Laura Engel. Sorry, I'm having brain fart right now. Court TV people I met, Vinny Politan, Julie Grant. Let's see, I met, going through all these things. Long Crime, met everybody over there at Long Crime, Anjanette Levy and Jesse Weber. But I that's the thing though. I did a few photos here and there, you know what I mean? But like I said, I didn't go crazy, with all the I didn't go fanboy out like crazy. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, I just want to enjoy the time, I just want to soak in CrimeCon, see what this is all about. And it was a wild time. It was great. It was amazing. Still an echo.
Now?
Yeah. That's very odd.
I also muted my headphones. Should I reset? Because we don't want an echo. Let me. Gotta love technology, guys. It's always fun.
How about this? Let me try to sign off, or hop out and hop back in. I'll do that.
Do you want me to try to instead disconnect the road or reboot the Roadcaster before you do all that?
No, let me try it.
Okay.
All right. See you in a minute.
All right, so I guess we will stay on for a moment since I'm here. It's very interesting when you can share on both platforms. So one thing that we're going to talk about is
Okay.
Is that better?
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
No. It's still an echo. Interesting.
Somebody says it's just you that's echoing.
Yeah, I know that. I get it, guys. I know it's just me, but I don't know why it's happening. I don't know why it's happening. Because it's coming from. That is so odd. I don't know where this. I don't know how that's happening. Honest to God.
Well, we've done this 1,000 times, never had this issue.
Never.
And the thing is, you're not echoing for me on my end.
Interesting. Hold on, I'm checking here. Okay. Nope. That didn't work. Yeah, I don't know where.
I'm gonna mute the headphones real quick, and you can give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if it's better.
Yeah. That's so annoying.
Or you can try to mute me while you're speaking.
I already did that. 1, 2, hey. Yeah. So when I mute you, just so you know, when I mute you there's no echo. But then when I unmute you, echo.
Weird.
Yeah.
So do you want me to just kind of what happens if you're muted and I'm talking? Is there still an echo? Sorry guys, it's technical difficulties, gotta love it. Is there an echo now? Okay, so I think that's just how we have to do it.
That's going to be insane.
We won't do it very long. I'll just talk a lot. How's that? And then
could it be from you broadcasting the actual?
I mean,
oh wait, sorry. What did you say?
I've done it before, but I mean, I could sign off mine.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. If it's not, then you can share it back on.
All right. If you're one of my followers, jump onto Pascal's live, and if you don't, follow him anyways. If you don't follow him anyway, just follow him anyways. And I'll put that with that.
I second that emotion. Same to you. Likewise.
Okay, is that better?
Let's find out.
No, yes.
What's going on here? Okay, you know what? I am going to. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Hold on. This is ridiculous. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reboot. So stay with Justin. You're on live.
No, actually, I'm not. Hold on. Let me go back on live.
No. I'm saying here. I'm saying here. Stay here. And I'm going to go reboot. All right.
All right, guys. So I don't think that has anything to do with my streaming because I'm no longer streaming. So all my stuff is off. Anyway, so what I will wait and kind of say is, till he gets back, I don't want him to miss anything, is that we're going to talk about, so as a lot of y'all know, if you don't know, I'll tell you now, something was posted, because I've seen a couple comments about it, about how JLR posted about JP Miller driving around a DeLorean, which is an incredibly rare car. I would know that because I own one. And it's a very interesting, we'll say, coincidence. For those of y'all asking, I have a YouTube and TikTok. It's Justin on TikTok. I'll stream back on that. Justin on TikTok is my username across all platforms. If you go to justontiktok.com, underneath my picture, you can get to all platforms. So we're gonna discuss that a little bit, when Pascal comes back on. But I will say it was very nice to finally meet him in person. I live in Nashville, so it was not too far a commute for me. was nice. And he's just an incredible guy, guys. He's just really, truly incredible. And we did hang out with the Patitos. Actually, and I'll say this while he's not here, and y'all can give him, you can give him some stuff about it. But Joe Patito actually has a video of Pascal singing, doing karaoke. So, who knows how long he takes. I want to go back on live.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Is that better?
It's
me. Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to? I was just telling them how Joe Patito has a video of you singing.
Oh. Yeah, he does. It was pretty crazy. But how about this? We'll talk about all that.
I'll reboot.
Yeah, reboot. I got things to do. So reboot, and I'll continue. All right.
I'll reboot everything. I'll be back in a minute.
All right, cool. Okay. I don't know what was going on, okay, with the echo thing, but that was pretty crazy. All right. But yes, it was really great meeting everybody. Of course, it was dope. I had a really, really great time. Of course, we'll talk about all that CrimeCon in more detail here in just a little bit. Got to meet some people, was recognized, which was cool. Like I said, I went there not expecting to be seen at all. Like, if that makes any sense. I just went in there. I was just going to go hang out, meet with some people that I've been, wanting to meet, and see people that I wanted to see, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, it was really cool to see and run into everybody and just, kind of chop it up with everybody. You know what I mean? It was really, really great. So yeah, it was awesome. I had a really great time with that. But sorry, guys, I had to reboot everything. So I got to bring everything. I have to bring everything back up that I was planning on pulling up and talking about. So I got to do a little bit of stuff here while I'm talking to you guys. But yeah, I had a fantastic time. But then, even during that time, there was so much information that was going on that I'm like, wow, there's still more stuff, right? The crime ain't gonna stop, right? These verdicts aren't gonna stop. Shoot, the full price, the ultimate price, as you guys, some of you guys told me at CrimeCon, because I've been so completely off, right? Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading this. Krista just said, yeah, our chats are going too fast on the other side on YouTube. It's not your side. Justin had to go out and back in. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you so much, Krista. I appreciate that clarification. Yeah, because I think it's from, it might have been from sharing the video. Does that make any sense? No, I'm good. You don't need, no, it's fine. It's out there already. You know what I mean? It's on Twitter somewhere, I think. You know what I mean? But Joseph Patito's in the house. What up, man? What up? It was great meeting him and everything. Like I said, it was really, really fun. Yes, I'm a very tall guy. I'm a big guy. I've told you guys that a million times. Why y'all acting all surprised? I met Vinny Politan, right? And he was just like, whoa. You know what I mean? He's like, damn, you're a mountain. I'm like, I've been told you guys I'm a big guy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm very tall, Okay, Justin's back. Yeah, it's coming from you. For sure.
I completely rebooted my computer.
So what I'm gonna do, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to your platform.
You're not.
But I'm gonna take down your live stream.
Okay, I did that earlier. It didn't help, but you go for it.
Yeah, you're still on. So I'm gonna try that. All right.
Okay.
And just see.
Better?
Hold on. Yeah, still echoes.
I rebooted the computer and the Roadcaster.
I don't know what's going on. Honest to God.
Well, what do you want to do?
Hold on. Trying to see if would this work? Nope. Yeah. It's only. What are the chances of you just phone?
Doing what?
Going on your.
Done.
Okay. In a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know what's going on, and it's not from me. So I apologize, guys, for the technical difficulties. Okay, guys. But let me get some of these things back up here real quick, because I got a couple of things I had set up that are now gone, and I need to bring them back. So I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate your patience. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I honestly do not know where it's coming from or why it's doing that. But we're going to continue moving on from in this conversation. Okay. So Justin, I'm going to remove you from here. Okay. If you can still hear me. So I'm kicking him off there. And so hopefully through the phone, it'll be a little bit easier. So what say you guys on the interview that we just saw? First off, I want to say, of course, Justin did a great job, I think, of that very impromptu interview that just kind of popped off out of nowhere with Pastor JP. It was very random. It was very, very random to say the least. But I am curious as to what you think. Now, the thing is like I said, I have questions. The reason why I have these questions, before I bring Justin back on, the reason why I have these questions is because of the things that he was answering. And they sounded like he was schooled. And I know that sounds weird, but what I mean by schooled is the fact that he's been watching shows. He's been watching podcasts, or listening to them at least. He's watching the TikToks and all that stuff. I think he's using all that information that he got from all these TikTokers and all these content creators, and he's spinning it to try to sound as innocent as he possibly can. He hops onto this guy's TikTok randomly, all right? He happens to be live streaming outside of JP's home. And JP comes out and chops it up with these three guys, with Robbie Harvey, with JP, with Justin, and I don't remember the third guy's name. And Myrtle Beach something, I think. Something like that. With all due respect, I'm sorry that I forgot. But this guy, he comes out of his house and goes onto his platform, which is very, very odd in my personal opinion. Okay? Very, very odd. And I'm wondering why he came out on this platform and did it this way. But then he put out information that I think a lot of people were holding on to. Okay? The iPhone guru or something like that. Maybe that's what it was. The guy. Like I said, no disrespect. I get all these names and then they, they're in my head and they fly out. But all I'm saying is he comes out of his house and he goes onto this live. It's very odd. It's very, very odd. But like I said, he uses the opportunity to try to spin a new narrative. And then he's like, "Oh, who are you? Who are you, Justin? You a TikToker? Clearly he's a TikToker. Clearly he makes content about things like this, and he's on the show. I won't talk to you, but I'm going to talk to him. I won't talk to Robbie, but I'll talk to you, Justin. So what is it that you do? And why are you friends with him? Because you guys seem so different." You see what I'm saying? Seems a little bit odd in my personal opinion. And I feel like this is just him using an opportunity to move the goalpost a little bit and manipulate. Okay? Manipulation station. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to bring back Justin again. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to work. We'll find out.
If it's still echoing, it's your fault.
Wait, hold on. It's not. But it's not, though.
Oh, so it's
but
my
it's
fault.
not, though. Yes. Oh, finally.
Difficulties solved.
Yes, finally. Life has new meaning to me. Okay. Oh, where did you go? There you are. You just disappeared and then you came back on. Okay. What is going on here?
Well, okay, do want to say something. I do want to say something first because here's why. I've written a little statement out, and I want to say this because it's something that you said earlier. Hold on, you're not gonna be surprised. It's fine. You're gonna appreciate it. I promise. I wouldn't do you like that.
Okay.
But the reason I did this is because since a video that he posted today.
Oh, wait. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Hold on.
I'm not gonna put the
hold on.
Horse. Hold on. I'm not doing.
Okay.
Dude, you know me. Trust me. I got you. All right. But a lot of people have not been happy with the fact that I've been talking to JP Miller. And I have been talking to him. He came on that live that night, and we can explain why. He came on, to the best of my knowledge, how that transpired, as well as a few other things. But there are people who don't really seem to like the fact that I've been talking to him, and I've been continuing to talk to him via text since then. So here's what I'm going to say, and this goes back to something that Pascal had said earlier in regards to journalism, because even though Pascal, myself, Robbie Harvey, JLR, people like that, Abby Blabby, all of these people, we're not traditional journalists, but we are reporting on the news. We are reporting on events. That is what we are. We are digital journalists, online creators. That is what it is, right? And with journalism, it's basically, and here I'm just going to read this. In journalism, it's crucial to maintain fairness, accuracy, and balance in reporting. This means it's important to make it a point to speak with all the relevant parties when possible, including those individuals involved in the story who may be perceived negatively. Engaging with the subject of the investigation or the person of interest helps provide a comprehensive view of the situation. It ensures that our reporting is based on the complete and accurate information, adds necessary context and nuance, and upholds our ethical responsibility to seek the truth. By doing so, we enhance the credibility of our work and ensure that the public receives a well-rounded understanding of complex issues. It's about being fair and just, giving everyone a chance to share their side of the story, and ensuring the audience is fully informed. I told you I wasn't going to do you bad.
No, I wasn't thinking that. I was just like, oh, he's about to do a State of the Union address. You know what I mean?
No, it's short.
But honestly, it's facts. It's hard facts. And I know that you're going to get some pushback because understandably, I mean, think about it. If somebody had the opportunity to sit down with Osama bin Laden, okay, a journalist, of course, people are going to not be happy about that kind of thing. You see what I'm saying? Or Putin, for crying out loud. There's going to be pushback, massive pushback. Absolutely. When you're talking to the opposing side, if that makes any sense. But that's journalism. That's part of journalism. That's part of doing the damn job. And I get it. We are internet journalists out here, right? For lack of a better term. The pros, but there are still pros that still are internet journalists that do the same doggone thing. So I don't see any problem with you having him on your platform. In fact, when it's so impromptu like that, how can anyone blame you for sitting there going, he's here. Okay, yeah, come on. Talk. I want to hear that side too. Because again, it is still innocent until proven guilty. I know everybody doesn't like to hear that. I know no one likes to hear that right now. And everyone's leaning on like, hey, this guy's a jerk off, right? 110% am with you guys. 110% with that. But at the same time, we haven't heard his side. And also, there's nothing right now that points to him being at the crime. Nothing. All it is speculation. And of course, we do have paperwork. We have affidavits and all that stuff that show that he is a monster. That's without question. But that still does not automatically mean this is somebody who did this. It doesn't mean that he's guilty. It's not an admission of guilt. It's just an admission of guilt of being him being an absolute monster.
Agreed.
That we can agree on. But some monsters don't unalive people too. They're just monsters. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I look at this and I go, okay, you're bringing him on so you can hear that side of the story. And then that side of the story was pretty wild. So to break it down for me, because that just seemed so odd that one moment he was like, you were there with Robbie Harvey and this other content creator. What's the name of the content creator really quick?
So it's the iPhone Guru. And
thank you.
And let me kind of give a little bit of background because first of all, he's awesome. but it's also, you can find him as the iPhone with 2 E's, iPhone Guru. Also at Myrtle Beach Strip on TikTok. But he lives, like, his apartment, he can walk out his front door and he sees JP's house from his front door. So he's not a true crime creator at all. He's just in a unique position where he can go out and he's interested in the case. He's interested in justice for Micah. And so he's going out there and, you know, showing JP's truck, showing the house, things like that. Nothing really stalkerish, just, showing kind of what's going on in the area. And I think that it's really important, what he's doing as far as all this, because on top of him showcasing things that are going on right around JP's house, which, if some bigger things go happen as far as, more papers being served, or if police were to show up or whatever, he's right there to capture it. So that's why I'm saying he's definitely worth a follow. But I would not have had the opportunity to speak with JP at all if it wasn't for him. So the way that this transpired, because I know that's kind of what you asked, was JP was very much aware of the iPhone Guru, and basically that's his company's name. So I don't know how JP got his number. I have guesses, I guess. But if you own a business, your number's out there. I think it's pretty easy to kind of find it. So he starts texting him, and it's kind of one of these things like, hey, I'm, next time something's happening, I'll let you know so you can get some great content, stuff like that. And then he asked him if he wanted to do an interview. Said that, hey, you want to come on live tonight with Justin on TikTok and Robbie Harvey? And he basically said that every news outlet, which is, he's not wrong, every news outlet in the country is wanting to talk to him. In fact, News Nation would like him on tonight, and he's declined it.
Wow, really?
Because he doesn't feel like they're showcasing him fairly, so he declined it. And
interesting.
and
But what's really interesting, I don't mean to interrupt you, but can I just point something out though?
Sure.
He clearly has not been watching your content. So, like, I feel like he has been, like, he knows of your content at least, but you're doing the same thing though too. You're covering it in a way that leans more on the side of suspicion on his possible doings. You know what I mean? His possible involvement, right?
But I think he knows that. He explained his, and I don't think it's my place to say this, because then it outs, a lot of Robbie's business, which isn't my place to do. But he explained to me why he didn't want to go on with Robbie Harvey. I'd be like, oh, he's scared of Robbie. He's not. That's not the case. He, if certain circumstances were different, he would have gone on with Robbie. I truly believe that. But
real quick,
real
quick, I'm sorry. Try to while we're talking, try to reshare the live on your channel.
I'm not on StreamYard. I'm not on StreamYard, so I don't think I can.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I don't want you guys to think that I'm like trying to take the views or something like that.
No, you're fine.
I wanted to make sure that's over there too.
You're fine. And for the record, I'm going to be doing a show later today where I'm going to get into some more of the stuff that he shared with me. Yeah. But I wanted you to be the first to kind of have this one that we're going to talk about today. But
yeah, I appreciate it, fam. So in other words, it was kind of a planned-ish conversation.
No, not necessarily. So
okay,
what happened was at the end of, let me pull up the text real quick, and I'll tell you exactly kind of what happened.
Okay.
I want to say it verbatim. Here's what he said. These are all already out there. So here's what iPhone Guru said. If you would like, you can join my live on TikTok tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern and do a Q&A. This was the other day, obviously. Do a Q&A with Justin on TikTok and maybe the Robbie Harvey. It's a great way to try to set the record straight. And he said, LOL, I had every news in America offering me that. Then he said, next time you come over, we can do a Q&A. You ask a question, then I ask you a question, smiley face. So the iPhone Guru took that as an opportunity and walked over there, and JP walked out. And he was willing to talk. You saw he was able to talk for a short period of time. He did about 16 minutes total.
Right.
And I was very much in shock that he was on there. That was not expected for that night at all when he did. But I tried to, like you saw what I said in that live. I don't care who you are. You're going to be respectful to the guest that we have. JP was the guest. You don't have to like him. You don't have to respect him, but in my live, you're going to be respectful to whoever it is. That's just the way it is. No doubt. I stayed very neutral. Yeah. And I don't think that he doesn't know my content. JP's an intelligent man, and this is not me like standing him or whatever. He's just, to underestimate him is foolish.
Absolutely.
And
No,
and so
and clearly he's a very, very intelligent. And the art of manipulation that we've already seen so far is it is like samurai level. I mean, this is like Yoda. It's insane, but there's a lot of people that have that kind of skill, and it takes some brains to do that. But you continue, my brother.
it also takes brains to run the church the way he is, and to do all these missions the way he does, and for the money to be funneled the way that it is.
Right.
All of that takes, intelligence to do. So, again, don't have to like him, don't have to respect him, but we're going to be cordial and we're going to remain neutral. If he's on that live, here's just me playing devil's advocate for a second. We have not heard from him until that night. He's not said a single word. And so we have the opportunity to hear from him. And I frankly would like to hear more from him. And I've given him that opportunity. I've given him the opportunity for a layup interview saying, like, look, man, I will send you questions ahead of time. You can nix whatever questions that you don't want. You can add whatever questions you do want. We'll stick to it. We won't do viewer questions. We'll do whatever you want so that there's no surprises, so you can get your side out there. And his response was that he will prey on that. So he's not committed to it at all or not. But I've given him that opportunity. But it's about being very neutral. At the same time, for people to know, right after that interview, and you can go on my YouTube and watch it, but immediately after that one, which is also posted, Micah's sisters came on. So, and I've spoken to, via text JP today, but I've also spoken to Sierra today.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. So I am kind of curious about what the family has said so far. I know that they came onto that same live, like right after JP logged off. And they had a lot to say as well. But I'm kind of curious, as of up to date now, have you heard from them? What have they said as of recently?
So, I know that right now, Sierra in particular and the rest of the family, they have court in 2 days. So they're trying to get prepared for that. There's a lot.
What is going on?
There was that hearing on the 5th that they have. I think it was for the marital assets, basically.
Okay.
So they have that on the 5th, and there's a lot going on, plus the stress of everything. And I know that she hasn't been feeling well, like her family's been under the weather. So it's just been a lot on her, plus the stress of all of this. As far as my communication with JP, she basically just said, doesn't have any issue with it. And she just said basically be careful is kind of the warning I was told to heed.
Interesting.
But that's how they feel, very strong. They've not minced words on that. Her family, well, I'll use the word challenged with JP is the word that I'll use for this particular case. And again, an attempt to remain neutral, but there's no love lost there between Micah's family and JP. There's no love lost there. So, but they're aware. I'm in communication with them. I'm in communication with JP. JP, I haven't told him directly that I'm speaking with Micah's family, but he knows because she came on and she's been talking. And if you go to Justice for Micah, I'm one of the only people that they follow. So, on TikTok, so they're very much aware, and that's kind of the point of this neutrality is getting JP to speak and share his side is very important to this story and to this narrative, because again, we've not heard anything. And think about the 16 minutes he was on, how the internet's been abuzz ever since that moment, ever since that time, with everything that's going on. And I haven't even made that much content from it. Others have. But it's when he speaks, it gives people more information that they can interpret the way that they feel that they should interpret it.
I see. I see. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people have been interpreting, at least as of recently. They've been, the whole thing of like the toxicology, and he said, whether she was pregnant or not. And everyone's going, oh my God, does it mean that she could be pregnant? I mean, yeah, anything's possible. But like I said, I think there's been seeds that were planted that I feel 100%. Are made to throw people off the beaten path. Instead of sticking with the facts, right? Now we're looking at the drama, and we're looking at the speculation even harder, rather than actually looking at, like, we have affidavits, we have police reports, we have impromptu, out of nowhere, court hearing with the ex-wife, right?
Yeah.
That just recently happened. I mean, there's a lot that, that has come out that I'm like, these are actual facts. and we should focus on that, not the pregnancy
100%.
stuff, because I think he's just putting that stuff out there to throw people off the scent, like throw people off his scent, right? And then next thing you know, it's all these videos saying, was Micah pregnant? You know what I mean? It just gets kind of ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And it just goes off the rails. But there are some other things that did recently happen that I do want to bring up and talk about as well. So
before you do, because I know you're about to, before this, I do want to say regard to the no, you can leave that up there, but with regard to the pregnancy thing, Sierra and Destiny, Micah's sisters, came on immediately after JP, and again, this is uploaded on my YouTube. You can watch the interview. It was a couple hours. It was great. They gave a lot of information. Honestly, but they said that she was not pregnant. But the other thing that I think that was very interesting that he said, the thing out of everything that he said that I thought that was the most interesting, if you really want to read something into it, read into something. At the end, he said that he still wants justice for Micah too. He wants,
okay, he wants. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Go.
No. I'll ask the question in a second.
Okay.
What were we going to finish?
Yeah, he said that he wanted justice for Micah, and I think if I remember right, implied or said something along the lines of, have the people held responsible or something along those lines.
Right.
If I recall correctly, and to me that indicates he doesn't necessarily believe that he might not believe that her death is self-inflicted. I mean, that's the only thing I could think to it, or he thinks that there are people that drove her to it outside of him. And he wants them held responsible. Those are the only two things it could mean, but it means that he doesn't necessarily believe that she, and this is not something that he said to me, this is just me inferring.
Right.
That was just a very interesting comment.
It is a very interesting comment, but let me just say, my theory is this. Of course he's going to sit there and say that. It takes the blame off of him. And it makes people go into the speculation world. It's messing with people's heads going, wait a second. If he says, oh, I want justice for Micah too. Oh my gosh. If he wants that, then does that mean that he believes that somebody else did this? Who could that be now? And then it turns into this. Am I wrong or am I right?
I mean, you're right.
Okay, so when you sit there and you say something like that, especially when everybody and their mama is looking at foul play and they're all looking at him, and he knows this, he instantly says, no, I want justice for Micah too. Oh, that's interesting. And then, like I said, everyone takes that and they run with it, losing their minds, going, wait, if he says that, then maybe there really is something going on. Maybe she was out on the lam. What? Maybe she was running from the mafia. I don't know, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a serial killer out in those woods. Like I said, this is when everyone goes crazy with those thoughts instantly. Okay, as soon as he says that, and again, it takes blame off of him. It's a tactic. He knows exactly what's going on. He is not a dumb guy. He knows exactly everybody and their mama is barking up his tree and his tree alone with the amount of paperwork, the mountain of paperwork, legal documents and whatnot that have been mounted against this guy. Okay. He knows exactly what the streets are saying. He heard them. He knows exactly what they're thinking. And now he's trying to do everything he can to manipulate and deflect. That answer right there, man, he could have easily just said, she did what she did, and we need to bring more awareness to mental health and suicide prevention, suicide awareness, etc. He didn't do that. He decided to go, oh, yeah, I want justice for her too. Huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, for me,
No,
I call
okay.
BS. I call BS. Go ahead.
No, I mean, and you're not wrong. It was just very interesting because you're right. Everybody is pointing it at him, and that's again why I've been trying to give him an opportunity in order to kind of explain himself and do what he wants. But as far as that goes, but he's yet to accept that. But at the same time, if he doesn't want to continue being the villain, or have people think, then you should speak. You should speak.
He should speak, but he should be very knowledgeable about the words that come out of his mouth, because and I feel like maybe he needs to maybe he needs to have like some sort of coach on like what he can and can't say, how he should say it, so on and so forth. Even if it comes out like it's like he's speaking like it's, like it's memorized. I mean, because when you come out with something like that, I want justice for her too, that turns a lot of people down a different path. And if you know some information, which clearly it sounds like that, at least he likes to make us believe he knows, like, oh yeah, she did this to herself, it was self-inflicted, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Why would you go out there, say it's self-inflicted, but then go onto a live with you and say, no, I want justice for her too? That doesn't make any sense. If it was self-inflicted, then it was self-inflicted. You see what I'm saying? The math ain't math, and the timeline is not timelining for me on that. And I just think that's a bad move. That feels like a manipulative tactic, not a person who's speaking genuinely and saying, I really want justice for her, and I want to figure out what happened to her too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I do think that this is a man who chooses his words carefully. I think that he, so he spoke about what he wanted to speak about. He didn't talk about what he didn't want to talk about. He answered what he wanted to answer and didn't, and even with the text, again, and trying to be neutral and respectful of him. I even said, look, so I'll say this. He wasn't mean about it or anything like that. But when the night that everything happened and I was still texting with him, I was reading those texts in real time. And he said that a friend of his told him that I was reading these texts, and he wasn't, he wasn't mean about it, but he wasn't happy about it. And he made sure to let me know that. So what I said was like, I'm sorry. I thought that this is where we were at with this.
Right.
And, I'll be respectful. So anything that I'm talking about with him, at this moment in time, at least, I'm asking him, like, look, I want to respect because I want to respect his boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure, and people can think, again, you don't have to like that, but I'm going to respect anybody who's giving me an opportunity, who's a situation like that.
There's nothing wrong with that. But there's nothing wrong with that.
And I mean, not to mention, I literally wrote a book called Boundaries, so it would be pretty bad if I didn't respect them. But that wasn't a shameless plug. It was just a thought. But just so you know.
We can find it on Amazon, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, also on TikTok Shop and link in bio. But anyways, but I want to respect the boundary. So, what he shares with me that he's comfortable with sharing, I can ask him. Like the other day, I said, look, this is what I'm going to talk about on my show later today is, hey, I'd like to talk about these few things here. And I sent him a list of like 3 or 4 things. And I said, I'd like to talk about these. And he came back and he said, these things are okay, but I'd rather you not talk about this one. I said, okay, done. I'll respect that. Because at least that gives us the opportunity for people to hear some of what he's saying, some of his thought process in real time. And I'll read them verbatim, so there's nothing, that's got my spin or whatever on it. But at least it's stuff that you're hearing from him that you're not hearing from him otherwise, which is all still part of this story. No matter how you like it, his side, his views are part of this story.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I agree 110%. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You got a random impromptu exclusive with him. He trusted you enough or he was comfortable enough with you at least to confide in you and talk with you. But also I think a part 2 would be fantastic. Another round with solid internet, and where he's actually talking to you rather than looking at the comment section, I think would be great. But at the same time, what you were given, you did great with what you were given, right?
You.
But I'm totally down I would love to see a second part. And I think it is fair. He deserves to have his voice heard as well. Whether we like to hear that or not, whether the opposing views out here, the people who are looking at him as the monster, I know that a lot of us don't want to hear it, but at the same time, there could be information that he says in an interview that could unearth more information that could get us closer to understanding what actually happened to Micah. Whether it was by his hand, by him slipping up and saying something, is like, no, you weren't at that game that you say that the cops are saying that you were at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that, the more he talks, the more information and more clarity I think we'll get from for this case and for Micah and for the family, because obviously they're reeling like crazy, I'm sure, trying to figure out what actually happened, and I don't blame them for wanting some more transparency. But moving on into other things, though. Okay,
Yep.
there were some other things that have recently happened. I know you've had some conversation with JP because of this whole thing. There is a police presence outside of Solid Rock Church, and honestly, I'm very curious about this whole thing. I know you just did a TikTok about this yesterday.
I did. Yep.
And I know you were having a conversation with JP, and what he said is the reason why there was a police presence outside of this church. But do you mind like breaking it down for us and letting us know what the hell is actually going on here?
Yeah, no, not at all. And I'm pulling up his text real quick, so again we can do this verbatim.
Sure.
So I sent him the picture, and I basically said to him, this was just posted by Robbie Harvey. Not sure if there's truth to it or not, but I figured I'd at least let you know. Is how I worded that. And he said thanks. He asked me a question about something unrelated. I answered it, and then he ends up telling me. And I'm not going to name a person's name because we're not going to do that, and because of, you just know why. But
Right.
here's what he said. He goes, "I'm told police showed up because of one of the protesters and gave a name, who is a. Are we allowed to say the D word on here?
You mean rugs?
Yeah. Okay. A rug dealer. He sells a lot of rugs, apparently.
Party favors, guys. Party favors.
A party favored dealer who cons old ladies into putting them in their will. Did something stupid and caused police to worry about my safety." And then I said to him, "I'll give you. This is the part that you might that I haven't said yet. So this is new for y'all." I said,
okay.
Yeah, I've not made any video. This has not been anything yet. You're the first one. So I said, given that the photo is going viral, do you want me to address that too when I make a video? And he said, totally up to you. It's only what I was told. I knew this individual from over a decade ago when he was selling rugs. I tried to help him, but I'm told he's the same person. Maybe then he said, maybe I should reach out to his ex-wife, and I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there at that, so she could better describe this individual.
Interesting.
So that's JP's version of what happened on this event. There were also rumors that day that police showed up at JP's house, but there's not been any photos of that. And he didn't say that to me. I would imagine he might have given the circumstances, but that's what I got.
Interesting. Okay. So this whole thing that happened outside of Solid Rock Church was all because of a person that was selling party favors. That's very interesting. It just seems a lot for one person. You see what I'm saying?
It is a lot.
So it seems a little bit odd. And then, of course, if there was police presence at his home later on that day or during that day, it could be in connection to what he said about this person selling party favors.
And my understanding is that there were canines out there, and you bring in canines to sniff out party favors.
Word.
So it's not, it might not.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious because we already know that he's known for, he's quite a connoisseur, allegedly, of the rugs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So can you explain to me again who this person was and what connection do they have to the church? Like, why were they, why were they actually there? Does that make sense?
Well, he said that it was one of the protesters. I don't know what the connection to the church is. He said he gave the name of the person. He said that he was somebody who sells party favors. And this person is also, he says, basically the con man, saying that he cons old ladies into putting him in their will.
Right.
He said that he did something stupid that caused police to worry about my safety. Now, he didn't elaborate on what that stupid thing that this individual did.
Oh, okay.
So I have no idea.
Wow.
And then he basically said that he knew this individual from over a decade ago when he was dealing rugs. He tried to help him, but I'm told he's the same person. So it's somebody that he's known for a long time, or known of. And I don't know any deeper on the story. He did, say I should reach out to his ex-wife, but didn't give me the ex-wife's name or info. If I asked, he may or may not do that. I don't know, but that's all I got in regard to that. But it was something according to him, it's in regard to his safety. That's what he says.
Interesting.
him.
Yeah,
him.
no. And I will say this though too, just to add a little bit of reality into it. There's a good possibility. I mean, I'm sure he's getting all kinds of threats of all various kinds, every day, all day, because of the coverage. Everybody's been talking about it. Every platform, the news station has been talking about this and covering this case as well. So yeah, I could see somebody out here, wild enough, bold enough to sit there and go, send some threats. I don't recommend that, guys. Let justice be served, in the way it needs to be served. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's sitting there going like, threatening him and whatnot. You know what I mean? That's not a surprise
No, I
to
wouldn't be
me
surprised at all.
at
And
all.
he even said that he's had to become reclusive or a hermit to not, basically since this all happened, which would indicate that he's worried about his safety. He didn't
Right.
say that, but I mean that's what that's indicative of. Because why else would you care?
Right. No kidding. And I mean, but that person was arrested, detained, and taken away, correct?
I don't know.
Or there was just police activity because
Police
of said
activity.
person.
Yeah, maybe they checked something out. Maybe they checked something out and realized that there wasn't necessarily a threat. Again, I don't know what it was. We don't know exactly what happened. There was the affidavit that came out, which I don't have in front of me, as to what it might have been, and I'll try to have that up, before my next show if I can get it. But
Right.
yeah, it was like something like with the reports. The report was supposedly out there or something like that. But
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, I don't have it in front of me to speak to it.
Okay. Question though. I know I asked you this before, but I do want to ask, like, because I know you've been talking to some other content creators that have been connected to this and all that, and family members. Right now, I know I asked this earlier, but I'm going to circle back and ask this again before we get into this next segment, which is important. Oh, by the way, and this is important too. Justin and I finally met this weekend in Texas, in Nashville, in the CrimeCon.
We also came up with a name for the podcast.
Oh, no, we did not. We keep that between you and me. No.
I'm definitely not the one saying it. I am definitely not the one saying it.
No. But we had a great time. We chopped it up. We hung out. We acted a fool. And we were just schmoozing with everybody like everybody else, right? But that's information. That's very important information for you guys to know. We got to meet finally. We've never met before until this trip to Nashville, or my trip to Nashville. And it was really, really great. Okay.
I enjoyed it too.
And that's a very important seed that I just dropped, just so you guys know. Okay. And that's important for the next foreshadow. Exactly. You know what I mean? We're in English class. We're in literature. It's called foreshadowing, love. Very important to remember that. But real quick, before we go into that segment, when it came to Sierra, the rest of the family and all that, how have they been, within this whole investigation? I know you just recently talked to them, so I'm just curious, like, is there any updates aside from them just getting ready for this hearing? How are they holding up with everything? Are they still leaning on, foul play, etc.?
I mean, I didn't really get into that, at least in this conversation. They're holding up as well as you can expect. This is a family that's very close. It's very apparent that they truly loved each other. They truly loved their sister. And every time you I talked primarily to Sierra, and every time you talk to Sierra, you can tell that she's stressed and she's trying to keep it together because they've got kids. One of her kids I think just had a birthday, and they're trying to hold it together while trying to navigate all of this. And you've heard, you and I've talked about this. We've talked about this with Joe Patito as well. That it's one thing to have to lose your loved one, especially in a tragic manner. But when you add the level of publicity that these people are going through, like Joe and Nikki and Tara and Jim went through, and like what the Francis family is going through, it really adds just another layer because, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, but for a lot of people, they feel like this is entertainment, and you have to remember that there are real victims, real families that are behind this. And and I always say, because Joe comes into my lives a lot, he comes into yours. Would you want to be talking about Gabby Petito and say something that you wouldn't want Joe to hear? So you always have to remember that, when you're having these discussions, you're talking about these people,
do it from a perspective of what if that family member's in this live? Are you okay saying something that they would hear? Because they're probably going to hear it, whether it's that directly or not.
That's very true. That's very, very true. That's the thing though. You know what I mean? I think it's very, I don't know. I get it 100%. But I do think that you got to be respectful as much as you can. But I think people are entitled to their opinions. And if that's what they want to use on their platform, then so be it. I just think that there is nothing wrong with being the inquisitive mother lovers that we all are.
100%.
I think we are all, I think one of the reasons why we are so deep into the true crime realm and all that is because we want to get those questions answered, or something ain't mathing right for you. That timeline ain't timelining and all that. But yes, of course, you got to leave respect somewhere on that table. You can't just be a jerk. You can't just be rude. These are all people's lives. These are all real human beings' lives for real. You know what I mean? So I do get that for sure. Even the villains of the stories, let's not forget, even the villains of the stories, the bad guys that are instantly being looked at and gawked at in a negative way without any proof of guilt, right? They are also still, let's not forget, they are also human as well. So, of course, we got to leave that a little bit of respect on the table to a certain extent, right? Like, when I look at this particular case and this particular situation, it frustrates me that there was so much that she allegedly went through, right? Because we got to use allegedly, I guess. But the things that she endured is it's frustrating, right? And it does make
a good word for it. Yeah.
It does make you want to say so much, right? Because you don't want, you think that there's so much that somebody goes through, right? And that there would have been a way out, and then only to find out that there really wasn't a way out. It hurts your heart, you know what I mean? And it makes 100%. You feel some type of way. So even without the situation of JP, holding the pew, you know what I mean? Holding the gun, and just there's still so much that was done that did not even need to happen. And this young woman could have lived long and prospered and had a happy life.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's not where it went. I think it went to the point where she was pushed to the edge. That's where I'm at.
I
still think that there is bad guys. There are bad actors in this situation that caused for her to go down this route. You see what I'm saying? So they're responsible too. That's what I think. But I agree. You have to leave respect as much as you can.
And neutrality when you can, when you're dealing with a person, neutrality. Like when he's on my show, I'm not going to sit here and attack him. Like, why did you do this? I'm going to be neutral and give him a chance to speak without him feeling attacked. Because if he feels attacked, he's not going to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I feel, there's cases that you learn, and then some of them just connect to you, right? Or you get emotionally connected to it. You know what I mean? Whether you want to or not, you just feel in your bones like, how could this have happened to this particular person? Yeah. Why did it happen? So on and so forth. And it's all these different cases. And I think that's one of the things that really is tough. Sometimes it's hard to just sit on the fence. Actually, a lot of times it's hard to sit on the fence. It's uncomfortable as hell. You see those things, they're poking all up in your way. That's not fun, right? You're either on one side or the other, right? But when it comes to, being that journalist, being that person, doing as much as you can to understand both sides of the spectrum of a case, it could be tough because for a fact, mentally you are leaning on one or the other, whether you want to or not.
Everybody is.
Right?
Everybody is.
But I do commend you and other content creators as well that will sit here and take the time to listen to both opposing views. I just think it's interesting, though, Not a whole lot of, and this is a little bit left field, or like a little bit of a left turn, but I do find it a little frustrating. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that this should happen, but I've noticed that when it comes to content creators, they'll get more flack for keeping an unbiased platform, or at least an unbiased view on a case, right? But you see, if you were to have those opposing views on a mainstream channel, like a CNN, Fox News, you know what I mean? Major network channel, people are okay with it. I find that very interesting. You know what I mean?
People are not looked upon the same way. That's why we're not looked upon the same way.
No, we're not.
We don't have sponsors, but here's the glory about what. Look, not every content creator who is in this space is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Pascal is great. That's why we're friends. Abby Blabby is great. Recap would do. I could go through and name you a myriad of different people.
There's so many
phenomenal. But then there are some people that aren't. Okay. Yeah. And it's up to you as the viewer to decide which ones are or aren't. But the beauty about Pascal, about myself, about anybody else is that we aren't limited by what the news channels or the sponsors say. So there are certain cases. I'll give one for a bad one, for example, Audrey Cunningham. You're going to get very little information about Audrey Cunningham on mainstream media because of how vile that case is, but you'll get it here.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about one of those cases that touches you. That was one. I got way too close to that one in the family on that one. And when the grandfather passed away, which I don't know if you even know about this, but when the grandfather passed away, I blame Stephen McDougal for that guy's death. But and it broke me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, taters? You know, you see what I'm saying? I call them taters. I call them taters. You know what I mean? Because he looks like taters. But that's, for example, how quickly we get so connected to it. Like, Stephen Stearns. I call him pig vomit. Why?
Oh, I like that. That's a great.
Because he's terrible. And I don't like saying his name. And he did that. Okay. And then some. So he's pig vomit from henceforth.
Actually, an insult to pig vomit.
Exactly. But you notice that you find these cases, you get connected to these individuals to a certain extent. And then, even for myself, it's like I got nicknames for them. You know what I mean? That I say live on the show. This is not stuff that I say behind closed doors. I say it live on the show because I'm tired of saying Stephen McDougal. You know what I mean? Like, forget that dude. You know what I mean? He's taters from this point on. But that's what's so wild about it. I know that when it comes to news, you're pretty quick to, news reporters and anchors and all that. They go from one story to the next, and they're working for a huge company that are telling them what they can and can't cover. You know what I mean? So they don't get time to get personalized with that case, right? And I think that's one thing that us content creators, we're a lot more personal. We're on lives for an hour and a half to 2 hours, sometimes 5-6 hours. You guys are getting to know everything, every nuanced thing about that person, what their idiosyncrasies are, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I get that personal connection. So when you go and have somebody like JP on, which I commend you for, you know what I mean? It can throw some people off, but I think the ones that are a little bit more open-minded and a little bit more understanding won't be so judgmental, and they'll just be like, hey, no, he's doing his job. And that's a great part of the job, is getting that opposing view. Do you know how, like, for example, the Sebastian Rogers case, real quick, would love to, like, I've taken a step back from it. You know what I mean? Waiting for more information, just waiting for more facts. Right. But it's like, hey, still have not talking to the Proudfoots. Would love to have them on. I know that would piss off a lot of people, but at the same time, in reality, that is journalism. And you may be able to get more information from them that could add to the case. Not the drama stuff, just facts, right? Being able to have that conversation, that is journalism. And I think that, with a lot of the platforms, everything becomes polarizing, and it's either team such and such or team such and such. You get what I'm saying? instead of going, hey, we're just trying to find all the facts so we can find this particular person, right?
100%.
And I wish there would be a little bit of a change in that at some point in time, for sure.
Well, I think bringing awareness to that issue is far, and that's what we're doing right this second. Which, I mean, I didn't mean to go down that hole with it, but I mean, it's letting people know, like, hey, this is what we're, because you're the same way. You're gonna remain neutral. You're gonna have that, the ability of, like you said, the prophets come on. I had said the entire time I didn't want to talk to them, but the reality is, if they came to me and said, hey, we want to talk to you, I in a heartbeat. I mean,
my Lord. I was on Court TV. Vinny asked me, he was like, because I've been talking to Seth and having these exclusives with Seth. And he said, would you like to get the Proudfoots on? He asked me this live on the show. And I'm like, oh yeah, I would love to have him on the show. Are you kidding me? That is showing another side of the case. It's giving us more information. It's all for finding Sebastian, not just to stir the pot of drama and for the sake of drama. So yeah, I've been saying it since day one, even though I am side-eyeing them like crazy. Well, one more in particular than the other. I give a damn about finding this kid. That's the main focus. And I think people have lost
Team Sebastian,
the focus. Team Sebastian, exactly, all day long, right? And I know that there's two teams, but it's underneath this title, which is Team Sebastian. Everyone needs to resort back to Team Sebastian and quit going on teams one side or the other. Just damn all that. Let's move on, right? And let's find the kid, period. One thing though, another left turn, CrimeCon. Was an amazing experience. I had a great time. It was great meeting you. And I don't know if Joseph Patito is in the chat right now, but I'm going to tell you right now, the Patito Schmidt family is basically CrimeCon's spirit animal. I said it. They are CrimeCon's spirit animal. That's all I can say. They were incredible. It was the first time meeting them as well. They had a great energy about them. They were so loving, so giving, so dope, and so much fun. They got big hearts. And
don't follow Joe anywhere. Just don't let him lead you anywhere.
You'll just get lost for 15 minutes. But other than that, I'm telling you, they are that convention's spirit animal. That's all I got to say about that.
They're beautiful people. They are beautiful people. Absolutely. Inside and out.
They are. And I had a great time. It was amazing to meet with them because I've had so many long conversations with Joseph. And so when we met, it was like we just picked up where we left off. You know what I mean? Met a lot of really great people. JB from WFLA, man, we connected like that. Like as soon as, what's up, man? Sup, man? We're hanging out with each other for the rest of the time. And that's exactly what we did for a whole day. You know what I mean? And just hung out, chopped it up, got to meet people. It was amazing. WFLA's JB Bueno, Buno. Sorry. Is it Buno? Buno. Sorry about that. Fantastic. Amazing person. Really great meeting him. Got to meet a lot of really great people. But let's get into this other piece. I'm sorry that we went off the rails there for a second, guys. But hey, that's the information that we should know. And that, journalism is now leaking out beyond just TV. Professional journalism, and sometimes more than not, hopefully in the future, it'll be more unbiased. It'll be more of, they'll be able to put in their own 2 cents later on, but they're getting two sides of the story, right? They're getting both. And then they can tell you, that journalist can give you their biased opinion after going through it, going through both sides. You see what I'm saying? And I know we live in a world where you're either team A or you're team B. You're team green, you're team red. You know what I mean? And if you're team blue or team red, you get what I'm saying? So sometimes it's frustrating, but I feel like these platforms and what we're growing here, not only just on Justin's, but mine and even the ones that are just getting started right now, even the ones that have 3 subscribers right now, but they have the talent and they have the charisma and the love and the care. I'm hoping that we all start to push our platforms in that general direction where we can have both sides of the spectrum on the platforms. talk about things that we want to talk about and cover them fully. So you get a full 3-dimensional case coverage rather than it just being 2-dimensional, right? So I'm hoping that happens in the very, very near future. Okay. But I digress. We got to get into the next part. Okay. Because I think internet journalism is here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's only going to get stronger, and it's going to be even crazier because you're going to see even more big time names moving over to the internet, leaving the networks and running solo. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's already happening, actually, by the way. You know, You see Tucker Carlson, you see Don Lemon, you see these big time names now becoming content creators, which is absolutely wild to me. Okay. But let me get into this piece here. Okay. Oh, I mean, shoot. Okay. If JP is in the chat, okay. What up? Good afternoon. And of course, you know, if you ever want to hop on, you are more than welcome to hop on and chop it up with us with good internet, hopefully. How's that? If you're in the chat, if that really is
Good internet is important.
Okay. Yeah, good internet is definitely
that wasn't his fault, though. That wasn't his fault.
Now, okay, we got to get into this piece here. Okay. I got to bring this up because this is also something that people have been have been talking about. So let me grab this really quick. All right. So this kind of is making the news, or at least the internets right now. Okay. It's being shared quite a bit. Allegedly, JP was seen getting out of a DeLorean, wearing a Spider-Man or Superman suit, walking into his home. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, the only reason why I'm bringing this up, because this to me has nothing, I repeat, nothing to do with this case. All right. But it's an opportunity, I feel, for our friend here, our guest, to clarify a few things. And the reason why I said what I said earlier, how we met and everything this past weekend, is very important for you guys to remember. Now, people are speculating that this sighting has something to do with Justin on TikTok. I really want to know what the hell is happening right here and why you are getting lumped into this situation.
Yeah.
One thing, though, mind you guys, he was getting out of a DeLorean. There's not a whole lot of DeLoreans out here in the world. Okay. It's not like just, getting out of a Toyota Camry. All right. But this is very odd. And I know that Justin owns a DeLorean. Okay. And people are starting to do some math, thinking that Justin was driving him around in Myrtle Beach. It's interesting. Justin, can you please explain this to us and so we can debunk this and nip this thing in the bud?
Well, I mean, I think it's easy to debunk because you and I were together this weekend in Nashville.
We were not together at all. I did not meet him. No, I'm totally kidding.
Who are you?
Yes.
Who are you?
Who are you? Justin on what?
You're just some. Hey, you know what? You're just some magical guy.
Justin on yeah. No. Wait, is this Justin on MySpace? What is it called?
It's MySpace. No, but we were with you. I have very credible people to tell you that I was there, from Pascal to all of Gabby Patito's family. They saw me, to several other content creators who were there. I do own a DeLorean, and so I want to give JP the benefit of the doubt on this one, but it is a very rare car. So for the last, I don't know, 15 or so years, the numbers I've heard is that there's about 6,000 of them left. They only made like 9,000 and change, but there's about 6,000 of them left. And I believe that number is really more like 4,500. And that's not including those which have had Back to the Future conversions done to them. And that's a whole different thing. By the way, for those of you who don't know what a DeLorean is, it is the car from Back to the Future. And if you don't know what Back to the Future is, then you have Google.
Great
But
Scott. That's what I would say. Great Scott.
if you don't know that movie, then you're wrong. But it's a classic. But the point is that number one, mine is I'm at my house. I'm gonna have the Back to the Future poster right there, actually. But I'm at my house, and the DeLorean is parked snugly in my garage with 28,000 miles on it, and I'm not going to drive a car with that low miles, that's that old, down to Myrtle Beach and back in a day. It's not going to happen.
So crazy.
So let's address that right now.
But I will say this. Let me just say this really quick, because some of y'all are smart, but sometimes you got some of us are a little bit too smart for our own good, because you start doing the math and you realize that just a few days ago, Justin had JP on his TikTok live. Now we are understanding that, you just did another video where you guys are corresponding with each other. So then we see him in, it looks like a Spider-Man suit to me. Okay.
So he has a Spider-Man suit. We've seen, and I'll say this because he sent me a picture. I don't know how much he spent on this costume, but it is like the real deal kind of costume. He has a very expensive Spider-Man costume.
So he's a cosplayer. So but as you see, as I was saying just a second ago, like days after Justin has this interview, then does an exclusive video giving everybody the update and an explanation from JP's own mouth about the police activity outside of the church, right? And then now we're seeing a DeLorean dropping off JP outside of his home. I can see why people will sit there and instantly go, wait a second.
I would make that connection. I would make that connection.
You want to know something funny? So when I saw this on Twitter, I was about to text yo butt and be like, bruh, you down there? Are you driving around with JP? I was literally about to do that, but then you called me. And it was hilarious because instantly, all of us smart individuals, see, like I said, we too smart for our own good. And we all do the math. And we instantly go, wait a second. DeLorean, bang. He's got a DeLorean. He's been talking to him. Wait, is he really down there now? What? That's insane. But guess what? He's not there. He's been at cosplay. He's been at CrimeCon this entire time. And guess what? He's in his home right now as we speak.
In Nashville. Which is 9 hours, 10 hours away from Myrtle Beach.
In Nashville. So we all got to do that math really quick. Right now, I don't know. Maybe it's somebody just said in the chat. I don't know if it's really true, but I'm going to say it anyway. Jillo just said it's one of the 29 church cars. If that actually is true, like it's for the kids, you know what I mean? Like it's for the kids, then that'll be interesting. But I know that they got money, the church at least. And I think a lot of the stuff is being bought. A lot of the things that they do have is bought from the church. Don't they have a private plane as well? So I wouldn't be surprised if he had an extra toy,
Or 10.
That would be like, oh, this is for the kids. The kids love the DeLorean. You know what I mean?
The kids do love the DeLorean, but it's millennials really love the DeLorean. But it's one of those things though. It's weird because even so, JLR is the one who broke that, and to be very frank, JLR didn't know that I owned one at the time.
Yeah,
and so
it was innocent.
Yeah, it was innocent.
It was all innocent.
Well, even here's the thing: report it. If this is what he did, report it. We can do. The truth is the truth, regardless of me.
I mean, it is weird. It is like it is a little bit odd. It's like what? But then at the same time, you got to remember life has to go on too, right? I mean, I'm just saying out loud, he's got to do, like he's got to, I'm sure there's things that the church is doing, events and all that stuff. You know what I mean? In my head, I go, why? I'm wondering why though? Why now? But at the same time, maybe,
well,
I don't know. It's a bit interesting.
A few days ago too, I did an affiliate video for a jump starter. And I did it as like a back to the. I had fun with it because my content's so serious most of the time. So I did this like Back to the Future thing, and the DeLorean is in that video, so you don't even have to go that far down my page to see it and to make that connection. So like I'm saying, and this is even if you're in the chat, JP, I don't have any issue saying this in front of you either. But I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but part of it seems like a move to get the internet talking about that connection.
Do you
That's what
really
it feels
think?
like.
Okay, so explain that. Explain, like, why do you think that this is, him trying to tether you into his web? Get what I'm doing there?
I see what you did there.
Tethering you into his web of possible manipulation. Why would he want to drag you into this mess?
I mean, I can't speak to what he's thinking. He hasn't shared that with me, but what I can say is, he, maybe he doesn't like me, maybe he doesn't trust me, whatever the case is. And I've been talking to him, and so maybe he's like, you know what, screw this guy. I don't know. I don't want to speculate on that. But at the same time, look, as you said at the beginning of the show, we won't mince words with this. I've not been unbiased in my opinion toward this case. Okay, it's not been unbiased. At the same time, though, like we also said, I feel like JP deserves a fair, neutral place to be able to share his story, and if he wants that, I'm happy to give him that.
Okay,
but not at the expense of playing games. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Okay.
So here's the thing about truth in journalism, and if I post a story, if you post a story with the information we have, but then a week later something changes, it doesn't mean that the story that you posted wasn't untrue. It means that it was true at the time, and now more information has come forward. Okay?
No doubt.
So as I've explained to JP, we have not heard from him except sans the 16 minutes and the one interview that he kind of did. Nobody has heard from him. So the only thing people have the ability to make inferences is the information that is out there, the police reports, all the stuff that's been done through FOIA requests. That is what's out there. He hasn't put anything else to try to, to make himself look better at this point in time.
Yeah.
And if he did that, again, we might have more information that lets us know something that we didn't know before that could change that. And if he's interested in doing that, I'm happy to give him. But to me, look, like you said, it's not a Toyota Camry. It's
in my DeLorean.
In my entire life, as an owner, before I owned one, I have seen 3 in my entire life. One of which was back in the early 80s, when I was very, very, very young, like 3 or 4 years old. And so there's not something that you see. And so for him, like a few days after he started talking to me to be driving around with the DeLorean seems very coincidental. And again, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he does own one. Somebody said that the church is one of the 29 cars. Maybe he owns one, and maybe he just felt like, hey, I want to take it out, and it was completely innocent. But people are they're doing the math. And hell, Pascal, I would do that math too. Yeah. If I wasn't me. So,
it's it's interesting, but I don't know if I lean. I mean, of course, you didn't ask for my opinion, but I'm going to say it
you're my friend. I want your opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to say it anyway. I don't think it is that. I just think he's innocently like doing whatever he's doing with this DeLorean. I don't think it's a dig at you or to draw some speculation, some speculation with you or him trying to turn you into the story. I don't think that's the case. I honestly think that he's just doing some weird stuff. I don't know. And it's only weird because of everything that's revolving around Micah and her case, right? Yeah. But is this a manipulation tactic? I don't know. I want to
give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt on it, but at the same time, that this is the optics on it. So, and I'm not even saying from him. And you're right. Here's the thing: if he owns a DeLorean, which somebody said again, it's part of the church. He's in the if it's him in the chat, which I can see him in the chat. He can let us know if he has one. He can let us know if he has one. But anyways, it could be, like you said, extreme coincidence. He likes Spider-Man. He likes the Marvel stuff, obviously, or their DC, I think, is what Spider-Man is. But I don't know. I can't remember that universe, so don't roast me on that. But
yeah, you're good.
But he likes that kind of stuff, so him owning a DeLorean wouldn't be out of the realm.
Yeah, I mean but see what I'm saying? Like, so in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe that maybe that's the case. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is. that he just has a DeLorean too, and that he has access to
What are
one,
the
and
odds?
he has access to one. He's doing something for that's for the kids, or he's going to some sort of event, but maybe a connection to you and trying to throw you into this. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't have all the answers for that. I'm just watching from afar. Does that make sense? I'm just seeing how that transpires,
Yeah.
because it's very interesting.
It is interesting, but I can assure you that I've been in Nashville the entire time.
Yes,
and
he has
hanging out with well, he just left, but this beautiful man right here, this
right
beautiful
here.
man right here,
I'm right here,
who is like 8 feet tall, by the way, guys.
Yes, guys, I'm tall. Like, yeah, I'm big. I work out. Yeah. I'm not joking. Like everyone thinks like, like everybody, some other people are like, oh man, I thought you were going to be much shorter. I'm like, nah, I'm not.
I never got short guy
I'm
vibes
a big
from
guy.
you. I never got short king vibes from you. So.
Yeah. No, I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy. So, and there's some people that I was really surprised to see in person too, that I was like, wow, you really are. Wow, you're so tiny. It's like, oh my God, you're so small. Like I met Julie Grant from Opening Statements, Court TV, and oh my God, she's so tiny. She's so tiny. Like I was like, wow, you're so small.
Yeah,
Literally.
some people that we met, you get this impression of them, or this thing in your mind, and then you meet them like, wow, they're a lot taller or a lot shorter than I thought they were.
Yeah.
Like I knew you were tall, but you were like Joe's tall, and you're towering over Joe.
Yeah, I was taller than tall. I was taller than tall. I was
You are
taller than
tall.
Joe. Yeah, I'm taller than tall too. But I was taller than Joe. I actually thought he was going to be a little bit taller than me. You know what I mean? I didn't know his height or anything. It's not like
5'10", y'all are
you know what I
all
mean?
tall to me.
It's not like I go out here and I'm like, yeah, what? How tall are you? You know what I mean? I don't do that. Yeah, it was just like I said, a lot of people I met that I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's like, well,
Yeah.
you're a lot shorter than I thought. You're a lot taller than I thought. That kind of thing. And
Still a
but it was
weird
really
thing to
cool.
say, but yeah, I mean,
I wasn't going over them being
I know
like,
you weren't.
little girl, you tiny. No, but it was just like, damn, okay. Oh, you're really down there, and you're really up there. It was just cool to see because all you see is floating heads. A lot of times you just see.
You just know when it's raining before the rest of us. That's all.
Yes, I do. I'll be like, it's rain, and it's you already know because it's hit you too at that time. but still,
Anyway.
it was really cool, like to meet everybody and all that. And so Justin, any other updates that you can tell us about the within this case before I let you kick rocks?
No, nothing real big. Like I said, I'm going to go through and refresh myself on what he's basically given me permission to say for the next show. And we can of course talk about that. I'll let you know when that's up or whatever. But I got to go through and make sure that's okay because I don't want to overspeak or overstep. Like I said, I want to be respectful of his boundaries. And then, other than the affidavit, which has already been talked about, that his ex-wife Allie, in regard to the kids, that got approved, that's the only other thing that's out there, or you know what I'm talking about when I say affidavit, but you know what I'm talking about. So
but can you explain it for everyone
JP's
else?
wanting to come up, he says. Do you want me to send him the link?
I mean, if it is really him, sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I can text him the link you sent me.
Okay. That's fine. Just make sure he's connected to some internets for crying out loud. But if he's going to sit there and go, okay, I want to talk to you, but I can't talk to Pascal, he's going to have a hard time doing that.
Yeah, because it's your show.
This is my platform.
And here's the thing: at the end of the day, Pascal will be just as fair as anybody else. Again, we're going to have our opinions. We're going to have our opinions, obviously, but as we both have agreed, he deserves a neutral place that he can share his. He's owed. I mean, he's owed that if he wants it.
Yeah. I mean, is this part 2? Somebody said part 2 already. Maybe not. It all depends on if this is really him. And of course, we want to keep the the door open, the platform open, the table open for him to say what needs to be said and explain a little bit more of what the hell is going on here, right? A little bit more
And
clarity.
I'll say this. Let's do this to make sure that it is him, because there are people when you have this, it's like the troll. JP, if it is you and you want me to send the link over for you to hop up, shoot me a text real quick. It can be just any letter, it can be an emoji, whatever you want. Just shoot me a text real quick and I'll send it up.
Yeah, don't worry, we have no problem.
I just want to make sure it's him, and if it's not him, I don't want to
I'm just wondering where the hell I'm looking in the chat, and I don't see anything that is saying this is JP. I'm wondering where that is. I'm scrolling through the chat and I'm going, where? No, unless I'm missing it.
I've seen it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering. Anyway, so I'm kind of curious about that.
Mm-hmm. And even despite everything that we've talked about, there people as JP cast a spell over justice, like that's exactly what's happening. And despite everything that we've talked about, people are still lacking critical thinking skills. But that's okay. Anyways,
we just gotta, like I said, we gotta hear everything we can, and then take what we can get from those, and then come up with whatever, with your own, with your own solution, with your own idea. Right.
Yeah. And he's not texted me back. He's not texted me yet. So for the record, so it might not be him.
Yeah, that might not be him. Yeah, because if it was him, I think he would just hop on.
Yeah, he would text back, and he would hop on. We'll give it another minute or so if you want before we jump
that's
off, but
that's
just to make sure.
That's totally fine. Sorry. So explain a little bit more. Okay, so the affidavit. Sorry, I don't mean to be like left turn. I'm, you know what I mean. I was just looking into the chat to see what was going on. But real quick, a super chat here while we kind of patiently wait. Thank you, Pascal. Melly, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hope you had a good weekend. Thank you, Pascal and Justin, for being so open-minded, classy, and cool in this live. Of course. We got no other choice but to be classy and cool. That should be Classy and Cool Podcast.
That should be the name instead of the other name with somebody magical.
I'm done.
I can't. You brought that on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I was cracking jokes. You know what I mean? This is what I do. I like to make jokes. It
was funny. We can't say what this joke is, guys. It's an inside joke, so I'm sorry you feel left out, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Just know that it was funny.
Hold on real quick while we wait a little bit more. Tipsy, thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
appreciate it. And this is what I say all the time. Hey, please, for that person who just got gifted, okay, you can always give back simply by going out and just doing something positive for somebody. Somebody in the chat, like Tipsy, wanted to give you some positivity and sharing a little bit of their wealth. All I ask is you to do the same thing. Do something positive for somebody. Open a door for somebody. Buy somebody a cup of coffee, or you can just go and gift somebody else in the chat. But that is up to you. Opening the door and being nice to somebody costs nothing but pays out in dividends. So that's what I'll say about that.
Even though it's not a super chat, Mr. Petito posted something that I believe you should throw up there.
Okay, hold on. Melly, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I was just trying to get to real quick, one more.
No, I know. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Melly, for gifting again what I said earlier. Goodness trickles down. Where's what was it? Where is it?
Oh, it's up there a little bit.
Oh God. Let's talk about my karaoke. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you guys about that really, really quick. All right. So I hadn't met you yet. You should
have them guess what song while you're talking about this. You should try to get the. Can I in the chat guess what song you think Pascal karaoke to? Now continue. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Okay, so very, very long story short. All right. So I was there. We were hanging out. We were having a good time. There was a guy playing guitar at the bar area. He was somebody went up there and was singing like some, I don't know, I don't remember what he was singing, but he was like maybe some Johnny Cash song, some random guy from the bar, right? Just a random patron. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe, we get a chance to go up there and do something. You know what I mean? Why not? And of course, so I walked over there and I was just kind of listing songs that I think he would know. I'm in Nashville. So, I'm trying to think of, I was like, I don't know any country songs. I don't know country. But I was like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? We found a song. He's like, yeah, he's like, I know that song. I know it. So we did the song. But then, so we did Elton John's Tiny Dancer. And
none of y'all saw that coming.
And he didn't really know the song that well. So it was sticky, you know what I mean, at certain parts. And it was fine. It was just fun to just go up there and just, sing a song and have some fun. I know that's like a song that universally everybody knows, and he knew. I was like, okay, well, how about this song? How about that song? How about a Tiny Dancer? And he's like, I do know that one. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go and do it. And so I did it. And it was random. It was very sloppy, but it was fun. You know what I mean? That's all. So, yeah. So
look at you just owning it, so Joe can't hold it over you.
Say again, what?
So look at you just owning it, so Joe can't hold it over you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I sang the hell out of that song, so we had fun.
Well,
it'd be different if it was a train wreck, but it ended up working out pretty damn good. So what were you gonna say?
I would say, for what it's worth, he has not texted me, so I do not believe that that's really him.
Yeah,
and he's also gotten quiet in your chat since then as well.
Yeah, I don't think that's really him, unless he just got a little nervous. That could be possible too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's all good though. Laura Mead, thank you so much for gifting. I appreciate it. Real quick, let me get this too. Reality, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being the highest in the room. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Love to all of you, and thank you for and thanks for your hard work, hardworking, and wait. Thank you for all your okay. Thank you for all your hard work, and love to the chat also. Sorry, that was an odd sentence, but thank you. I appreciate the love. Okay, Breezy, thank you so much. She says I have the video on Twitter. Yep, she does have the video on Twitter, so it's out there. Like I said, it exists, So, Justin, I appreciate you coming on and chopping it up. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. All right. And guys, please go check out Justin on TikTok. He's got a platform on YouTube, of course, and he's on TikTok, of course. But obviously, he's trying to bulk up his YouTube channel even more. So please go over there and subscribe to his YouTube channel, okay? He's been doing some really, really great work, and his channel's blowing the F up, which has been fantastic, okay?
Yeah, and I owe a lot of that thanks to you, because so I'll share a real quick, before I go, I'll share a quick funny story with you guys on Pascal. And I told him this one too. So like, Pascal has been for a while now trying to get me to get onto YouTube and telling me like, oh, you should just take your lives and repurpose them and do this. And so I've been doing a little bit more. And then finally I said to him, I'm like, hey man, like, what's your setup? Because when I do this, and so he tells me exactly what he has. And so that's what I purchase, even though this Roadcaster hurt my feelings a little bit, but that's okay. It's worth it though.
It breaks your soul. You know what I mean? It makes you question God, from time to time. Yeah. Some of these pieces of equipment they're not cheap, bro. They're just not.
It's pretty. It's pretty. It's got pretty colors. Yeah. So my daughter loves it. So she'll, anyway, nevertheless. So my mother-in-law watches your channel. And she's like, do you know this Pascal guy's copying Justin? And my wife says, there's like, no, Justin's copying Pascal. So like, down to the equipment. So yeah. No, I appreciate you, man, because you're the one that kind of encouraged me to get there. So thank you for that.
No problem, man. I mean, there was other YouTube channels that were there as well, or other just podcasters, YouTube channels, other content creators there that I was like, I was even talking to them the same way. I'm like, yo, get on this YouTube. ish. If you're not using YouTube, I don't know why you're not using it. Get on that mug. Yeah, you're doing audio. Like I met this podcast, this duo, and these were Black content creators. And I'm sitting there going like, because there was like 9 of us, man. There was like 9 of us in this mug. And I'm like, why aren't there more Black content creators covering true crime? And it doesn't only have to just be true crime, Black true crime, like Black cases. You can do a mixture. You can do a whole, like I said, you could do a mixture of those things, right? So I'm talking to this duo, this podcast duo, and we're having this conversation and everything. And I was like, so where can I find, because I'd never heard about their podcast. And they're like, I asked them, where can I find it? And they're like, hey, we're on like audio form. And I go, why aren't you putting this stuff on YouTube? And so I turned to them. I'm like, hey, are you just recording audio? First off, I said, are you doing it remotely? And they're like, you mean like shooting it from our like bedrooms or our offices? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, that's what we're doing. And they're like, yeah, we got this nice little Zoom audio recorder, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool, bet. That's great. So how are you recording via, how are you recording via remotely? Are you using platforms like OBS or StreamYard or Streamlabs or something like that? And they're like, yeah, we use StreamYard. And I go, and so you're using a webcam to see each other while you're talking, right? And they said, yes, we're doing that. And I go, and so you're recording the video and the audio, right? And they're like, yeah, we are. And I said, man, I need to stop talking to you guys. You guys are getting me angry. I'm like, the hell is wrong with you? You should be putting this on YouTube. What's holding you back? You're already making the content. You're already recording it. So just put the damn thing on YouTube too. And they're like, yeah, I see your point. You're right. And then they, but there was a lot of other platforms like that. Not only just Black content creators that I was saying that to, but there was a lot of other content creators that were out there that I was like, hey, yo, why aren't you utilizing the platforms in which they have, you know what I mean? And which you have right there, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, like, talk, do your thing, you know what I mean? Hold on. He just got kicked off. But, I just thought that was interesting because it was a lot of other content creators too that I was like, hey, have you met, like I met Joseph Scott Morgan for another example, Body Bags, right? Great podcast. And he's really, really great. I hope we get him on the show very, very soon. Right. But I finally got to meet him, and there was other content creators that were literally 3 or 4 booths down the way, tables down the way. And I'm like, have you guys met the guy? Y'all should be like friendly as hell right now. Like y'all should be talking, all these content creators, and I get some have their own way of doing things, but I'm like, no. Come here. Cause I was like, I see these other platforms that do really great content, really do great work. And I'm like, come on over here. Meet this mother lover. Meet this dude. He's great. I know you have a way of doing things, but maybe he can come on to your channel. It gives your show, a little bit more clout. You know what I mean? A little bit more seriousness, and that could also create more content for your channel other than just doing a breakdown of a case, bringing in an expert and just having that piece. There's things I think that a lot of people would love to know, more about when it comes to an investigation and all that. So, I mean, it was a lot of that kind of conversations that I was having with other platforms that were really great, prominent platforms in their own right, where I'm like, hey, utilize these other opportunities, utilize these things. These things are right there at your disposal, and it could change your life, could change the trajectory of where you're headed, but that's just me, because I see opportunities. I see really great content creators that are they're not there yet. Does that make sense? They're not there yet, but they're getting there. And I'm like, let me help you out though. Here's a little nudge in this direction. Meet this person, say hi, get their card, send them an email, see where it sends you. If it sends you to nowhere, at least you tried, right? I finally got to meet Annie Elise as well, which is, that was fire. 10 to life. We got to meet, we got to chop it up. We got to talk as well. She was really great. She was very, very kind. But I could see that she was very busy. Totally understandable. Emily D. Baker, got to meet her as well. That was dope. We got to chop it up as well. Got to meet in the flesh. She's awesome as well. Just some people I had more time to really get to meet than others. You see what I'm saying? Like really get to talk to them more than others. Because a lot of them were so busy. You know what I mean? A lot of them were so busy. I mean, Emily D. Baker, if I'm correct, had 2 meet and greets. What the hell? 2. If I'm correct, she had 2. At least it was scheduled with she had 2. Damn. You know what I'm saying? And people showed up and showed some serious love. So it was dope. Like I said, got to meet a lot of great people, a lot of great content creators, a lot of great anchors and news media personalities and all that, which was really, 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 really cool. But I do have something I do want to share with you because this actually happened. And of course, I guess Justin's not going to be coming back, but I do appreciate him coming on. Right? Real quick, Laura Mead, welcome. I mean, thank you so much for gifting somebody a membership. I appreciate that. And Serenity asked this, do you know if Seth was at CrimeCon? I didn't see him. Okay. It's going around. He was wanting to charge for interviews. If I saw him, I would have told you. I did not see him at all. So I heard a rumor that he was there, but I didn't see him. I didn't see him at all. So, and I have never heard, that's the first time me hearing something about him charging for interviews. That's news to me. So don't know. Didn't see him, the entire time. I feel like if I was to run into Seth, I don't know. I feel like there would have been a photo taken or something of that sort. But honestly, I didn't really take my phone out and take a lot of photos. I was just trying to enjoy the experience. I was trying to enjoy the ambiance, the presentation, meeting people, meeting the people that I really wanted to meet and all of that, hanging out with people, getting to know those people instead of just me on my phone the entire time trying to do a selfie. That's not what I was there for. You know what I mean? I just wanted to go and have fun, hang out with some people, and get to know the people I've been talking to for years, and finally meeting them in the flesh. And that was really amazing. The other thing that I thought was really dope is how big true crime, just the genre, has gotten, and that the power of these platforms, this microphone, this camera, the voice is so huge, especially when it comes to these cases and the people who are actually covering these cases. It was really amazing to see so many people that were drawn in from, one story or one case, and then they just got hooked. You know what I mean? And for me, it was Gabby Patito's case. That's the real first true crime story that really drugged me in and held on, and got me more interested in covering more true crime cases. So it was really cool, like I said, to meet everybody, even, just viewers, people who just watch the show, people who subscribe, people who tune in and watch and, get their husband, into it as well. You know what I mean? Reluctantly, it's usually that's the effect of couples. I feel at first it's like, what the hell you watching? And it's like, oh, I'm watching the Pascal show. We talk about this. And it's like, oh yeah, whatever. Some true crime crap. Whatever. And then 2 weeks later. So what happened here? Honey, what did he say? What did he say on the show today about this case? What did he say about, about Caleb or something like that. What is there a new update about Caleb? You see what I'm saying? And it's like, no, he didn't say anything about that. We talked about another case. What's that case? It's kind of funny, but it's really dope because then you got the fellas into it and they want to know, right? And so, like I said, it's just amazing the turnout and the reaction, the love. Okay, it was just dope to see all that, right? It was just really, really dope to see that. A real blessing because you don't get to see those things very often, or I don't. So it was very shocking. You know, I've been in this room doing my thing for years. You know, and you know, it's not like I walk out and suddenly I'm around people that are covering the same stuff and talking and doing YouTube channels and all that stuff. No, I don't live in that kind of world. So when you walk into a world where it is all just content creators and they all know about each other in a certain way, it is really cool. And it's mind blowing because at first you're looking at these, you know, like me, it's like, okay, I'm not just talking into a void. There are actual people listening to what I'm saying. It's not just numbers, right? There are actual human beings consuming what I'm talking about. But then you're also watching Vinnie Politan. You are also watching Julie Grant. You are also watching Banfield, Nancy Grace, Brian Enton, and a slew of other people, right? You're listening to the mainstream media and you're listening to your favorite podcasters or your YouTubers or your TikTokers. And that is just so dope. And it was so refreshing to see all that. And I just, like I said, I did not expect any of what happened to happen. And, but it was such a blessing to be there and meet everybody and just have fun, you know? Because, I mean, yes, it's tough to be at a true crime convention when it's very serious, but it was nice to just kind of hang out, have fun, you know, share a drink or two, share a laugh or two, and get to know a lot of these new people, which is awesome. I unfortunately did not get to meet John Walsh. I definitely wanted to, but I wasn't at that banquet. You know, I wasn't at that event. I missed that. I missed out on that. But someday I will meet him. You know what I mean? Baby steps. Like I said, I met so many people. Okay, Ian Runkle, Josh Mankiewicz, who else? I mean, there's so many people that, like I said, that I got to finally like kind of shake hands. Carrie Rawson. I got to meet her finally in person. We got to talk for a little bit, which was great. But like I said, just met so many people and just had a good time, you know? So I wanted to share this with you guys because this is something. Yeah, see that Nicole, I'm thinking about that. I really am, real talk. Because if I was to do something next year, I'd want to do something big. So if it's going to be something like that, I may do a booth. I may. Or do something of that sort. I'm trying to figure out what that would be. But what I would love to do, okay, is go live and do a full-on show out there, right? So that's something I'd love to do. But there's something I want to share with you guys before we wrap up. Reality, thank you so much. Whoa, you've been a member for a whole year now. Woo! Yes. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, being a part of the family, you know, the family membership, for the support and all that. That's dope. A whole doggone year. Look at that, guys. Won't he do it? Because we're talking about church and stuff, you know. God is good all the time and all the time. You guys finish the rest. Dag nabbit, you know. But I'm thinking about that for real. It just depends on, you know, how time goes. You know what I'm saying? You know, if my schedule falls on that around that time, I know that they're going to be doing it in Denver, if I'm correct, in 2025. And if that's the case, then, you know, I'm going to try to get my butt there, you know, and maybe do a booth for show. That would be fun. Hold on real quick. I do have this. Okay. So there is something that happened. And this is the only video. Well, there's two videos. I got this video that I'm going to share with you guys right here. Okay. I was there. There it is. Okay. So I wanted to share with you guys this video really, really quick. It's short. Okay. Not like me. I'm very tall, but the video is short. And I wanted to share this with you guys because this was the first time. This is the first time that I've ever had anybody actually come up to me. And this was the first time somebody recognized me in the convention. I walked in. Actually, I ran into Vinny Politan, and I'm actually in one of his videos that they put out like 2 or 3 days ago, because they were like broadcasting live from CrimeCon, talking about they were doing Verdict Watch on Chad Daybell. But so he was the first person I'd like ran into, that's, a name there. But this woman came up to me and, was very sweet. And she was the first person to recognize me. She was like, "Oh my gosh, Pascal," you know what I mean? And so she came up. No, people came up. People really did come up. People were excited and very kind. Some people were very bold and just kind of cut in, that kind of thing. It is what it is. It's CrimeCon. You're out there and people are, meeting you and trying to be positive and get that selfie, right? But this lady out of nowhere, she just came up and was like, "Whoa," you know what I mean? And I was like, "Hi, yeah, hi," because it was, like I said, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to it. Like I said, I'm not used to it. So she was so sweet. And she was like, "Can you sign my bag?" and all that. So I wanted to share this with you guys because, like I said, it was so endearing. You know what I mean? It was amazing. So I want to share that with you guys. You know what I mean? Because I thought it was sweet. And this is one of the reasons why I'm like, I would go back. I would definitely go back because of this, right? So let's take a look. Like I said, I'm not gonna play the whole doggone thing, but I just want you guys to see what I'm talking about. So I'm here at CrimeCon, everybody, and I just met Jenny.
Jenny Price.
And I'm just in here like just a regular bystander, and then
just a regular person. I had no idea.
She just called me out. So I signed her bag, which is very cool. There I am.
But
and
what he needs to do is get some of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get some of this kind of stuff for
What
us.
is that called? I keep forgetting what these are called.
Just the little swag buttons.
Buttons. There we
Yeah,
go.
you can get them on Etsy. You
Yeah.
can get them made anywhere. So you got to get some
Okay.
of those with his face on it because that's the money shot.
There it is.
So, yeah. Yeah.
This is the money shot. This okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I flipped out. I couldn't believe he was just standing there like a person.
I am a person.
I know, it's so weird to think about, though. I'm like, oh my God. So, very excited.
Oh, that's
Very,
great
very
to meet you.
excited.
Thank you for letting me asking me to sign your bag.
It
That
was
means a lot.
truly my honor. I love everything you do. I love everything you say. I love everything you are. I love everything about you. And there's a huge group of us that just all really look forward to everything you do. Put him on all alerts. All the alerts.
Make sure that notification bell is set to
Oh,
all.
yeah, wait, and obviously join.
Oh yeah. Support if you can. Those purple lights don't pay for themselves, right?
Yeah, that's true. And he's got to get some swag, so help him out, man.
I'm working on it. I'll work on those buttons now. Thank you. So, pretty cool. I played the whole thing because that was kind of sweet. And I've actually haven't seen the whole video. I just kind of sent it to myself and just, you know what I mean? Like I said, I had some video, not a whole lot of video, right? But like I said, I wanted to kind of spend time just enjoying the event. And the event was really, really special. A lot of people, a lot of big hearts, a lot of very excited people that were like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you were going to be here." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I didn't tell nobody. I really didn't tell nobody, So like I said, I had a great time. But I will say, like, the Patitos, like running into everybody was great too. But I was hanging out with them, and they really made that trip for me. You know what I mean? Which was amazing. I didn't ask for nothing, and I figured I was going to be like, "Hi, good to see you," and then see him in sprinkled throughout the time, and it really wasn't like that. It was very amazing, and they made the weekend for me for sure. So yeah, just meeting people like that was really, really cool. And like I said, didn't expect it. I was like, whoa, I just got recognized. That's really cool. You know what I mean? And there were some people that were doing the same thing, like, oh my gosh, you're Pascal. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Nice to meet you. And then we'd take a photo, that kind of thing, which was sweet. I didn't have a VIP or a creator pass or anything. I had general admission. All the tickets for VIP and whatnot were all sold out. So I only had general admission. And of course, I decided at the very last minute to go to this event. No, I didn't meet Nancy Grace. Somebody asked that earlier. I didn't get a chance to meet Nancy Grace. Maybe sometime in the future, maybe another time. But I got to meet a lot of other people and got to hang out, kind of break bread, if you will, with a lot of people, which was really, really amazing. Other content creators and news people as well. Like this video, I want to share this with you guys too. Vinny. Paladin in the house.
Great to see you. What's your biggest obsession right now?
With regard to crime or with your show?
Both.
With your show, I bet you definitely love.
So, like I said, Vinny was out there interviewing a bunch of people. I got interviewed there too. Yeah, it was a really great idea. In fact, if I do it next year, I'm definitely planning on doing something like that too. Just going out there and just interviewing a bunch of people and just having fun. Right. And just talking about the cases that are going on at that moment. I think that's a really, really great idea. I just, like I said, I was rolling solo. I was there by myself. It was like I said, just a lot of fun being able to just kind of not worry about cameras, not worry about working, and just go out there and just have a good time connecting with people that I haven't been able to meet ever, So all turned into one awesome blessing of a time, real talk, connected with people that knew of me or that we knew of each other. But now it's like, okay, now we're going to talk about collabing. And all that. Like I said, it was just a lot of fun and great. You know what I mean? Oh, then Ian Runkle of the day, Law Tuber, he was there, along with Emily D. Baker. He had this hot sauce that was just fire. So I messaged him because we were eating pizza, and he broke out the hot sauce. So I tried the hot sauce. I was like, this stuff is fire, right? And then, yeah. This is one of them. But yeah, I'm not kidding. This is fire. Okay, there it is. He's not paying me. This is not an endorsement. Okay, this is very impromptu, but this was fire. Okay, and I'm looking forward to having more of it. Okay, but the reason why I have it is because the very next day, I hit him up being like, yo, this hot sauce is fire. But I told him that I was very adamant. Like, I was like, yo, this stuff is fire when I tried it the night before. And so he came in to the convention. He's like, I was hoping I was going to run into you. I got two bottles for you, just for you. And I was like, oh, damn. Thank you, bro. Thank you. You know what I mean? This hot sauce is fire. So if you don't know that the hot sauce is fire, I said it like 5 times in a row. But it is really good. So he gave me some and I was like, damn, okay. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of you, man. And Ian was dope as hell too. Everybody was cool. Like I said, everybody was really, really cool. Everybody was just excited to see everybody, There were some people that have never been there before, like myself, that were just happy to be around people that they've been connected to or talking to for the longest time. You know what I mean? Just like JB from WFLA, it was just, like I said, just really dope moments all kind of smashed into 48 hours, it was lit. It was lit. Like, it was dope. Everybody was having a great time. You know? Yeah. I don't know how to explain it. Just the excitement was palpable, and it was really fun. And yeah, we had a great time. Yeah, we had some drinks with Banfield. You know what I mean? Joseph Patito. We had a good time. Like I said, it was crazy. Yeah, I got to, kick it with Banfield a little bit, and Court TV. You know what I mean? We had a great time, man. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I got a photo with Banfield and all that. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, photo with Banfield. There it is. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. I just haven't posted anything. Like I said, that was totally out of focus. But, no, I did not meet Duty Ron, and I would have loved to have met him. He's been very, very kind to me via internet. But that's somebody I would love to meet as well. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, we had a really good time. Was she wearing beige? Did you really say that? I mean, hold on, let me see. It was like a white, silver-ish shirt, but she was wearing that because she was the presenter, or she was the MC for the Clue Awards. And yes, I did not do a photo with Annie Elise, which I was kind of upset about, but at the same time, I wasn't trying to come off like some weird fanboy type thing. Does that make sense? So I was just kind of like, all right, nice to meet you. You know what I mean? And you see what I'm saying? I was just trying to be respectful, because a lot of times it just felt like they were so busy being so kind and welcoming to so many people that when you get to them, you're kind of like, nah, you know what? I'll get my photo. In fact, it won't be a photo. It'll be like a video. We'll be doing something in the future. You know what I mean? We'll be covering some case together at some point. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I just kind of let it be what it is. A lot of the situations, like I met Jesse Weber, Anjanette Levy. Actually, I did do a photo with Anjanette Levy. Hold on. Where is that? Where the heck is that? Boom. I wonder if it's still up. There it is. Anjanette Levy from Law and Crime. It's not so great, but you could see what I'm saying. I met some people. Jesse Weber, we talked for a bit, but like I said, there was just moments where it was like, all right, I'm just trying to be kind. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to be all like, can I take a photo? They're already doing that 15,000 times, right? So I'm like, all right, let me just hang out and just enjoy what's going on. There's always other times, right? And I was busy getting email addresses and phone numbers and stuff like that, So I was just like, all right, that's good enough, I was put into a documentary, which was interesting, which was dope. Not interesting in a bad way. It just came out of nowhere. I was just hanging out with the Patito Schmidt clan, and they were supposed to go to this interview. And there's a documentary that they're working on for missing indigenous women, and so which is really cool. This is the reason why they had a whole panel, which I thought was just fire. That was some gangster stuff, y'all. Like, let me explain something to you. This is the reason why I rock with the Patito Schmidt family so freaking hard. They are still keeping Gabby Petito's name and face out there, and bringing awareness to a lot of other cases through Gabby Petito's name. And a lot of them have to do with Black, brown, and indigenous people. And the fact that they had a whole panel, and there were hundreds of people in this conference room, in this ballroom area, listening to the Petitos, Schmidt family. But they were sitting there going, okay, we are here for this, for the MMIW, right? We're here to bring them out onto the platform, giving them some light under the sun. So I'm going to let them speak. I'm going to let these two individuals speak, and that's exactly what they did. They just hoisted these people onto their shoulders, and they're going, hey, look at what's going on in these necks of the woods that a lot of people don't even realize is actually happening every single day. So the information that was dropped was just mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing. And I'm like, yo, that's for real? What's going on? And we're not even talking about just Black and brown people. We're talking about the indigenous as well. And you're going, even then, that's even worse. That's even being totally under the rug, under the radar, flown totally under the radar. And so that was a lot of what I learned from that. I'm like, wow, that's some crazy, crazy stuff. And now I'm going, okay, what can I do to contribute? And so there are some things that I'm going to be doing specifically for that, to bring more awareness to those particular stories, because they don't get a whole lot of light under the sun. And then the way standard procedure in investigation and whatnot, when it comes to a person that has a crime, say a crime that has been committed on a reservation, is mind-blowing. Takes days sometimes, right? And you're going, wow, it would take days for a law enforcement to go onto that land, to go into, to do their due diligence in that particular case. It's pretty mind-blowing. And I'm not even doing it service with the information I'm giving you right now. This is not even the tip of the iceberg of the information that we learned at this discussion, this live panel that they had. But like I said, what I thought was so gangsta of them, I was like, y'all did some gangsta-ish right there. You're taking your daughter's name, and she's still being out here. She's still being, mourned over. She's still being celebrated in a way, but you're spinning it and you're getting other voices that don't get heard at all, a place to be heard. And that's a powerful thing. That is some serious power. And they're using their power and their influence for the best, for the better. And I think that's incredible. And I'm saying it's not only just indigenous, it is also Black and brown as well, that don't get a whole lot of light under the sun very often, which is disheartening. There might be a few Black women that go missing that get some attention. There might be a situation like Sade, you know what I mean, where it's a tragedy like that. It might get a little bit of light under the sun, but then it just dissipates. It just vanishes, right? But there's so much that I learned from just that panel alone that I'm like, okay, I'm taking this home with me. This is going to have a lasting impression on what I do on my platform and what I do on my show from this point on. Like I said, I wish, I will say this too, and I've said this a million times, and it's true. And I get it. Not everybody is built like the Patito Schmidt family. They're not everybody built like that. Keep it real. Okay. They are a unique individual. Okay. They're unique individuals, but when they come together, they do something really, really powerful. I wish there were other families that would do the same thing, to bring awareness to these victims of DV, missing indigenous women, Black and brown people, whatever, bringing awareness to these other cases and trying to bring protection to those who are trying to seek refuge. And like I said, this is not a dig at anyone, at any person that loses someone and then they find them, right? And it's a tragedy. I get it that you need time to heal. I get it that you need time to grieve. I get it that you need to get away from the cameras and the lights and the microphones. I get that 100%. But also, your son, your loved one, your daughter's voice still can be heard through the the stories of these other people that need that influence, need that voice. So I say that to any person out here, because I notice as soon as they go, where's my son, or where's my daughter, where's my loved one? And it's a hashtag all over the world. We're all joining hands, content creators, news media, talking about this all day long, right? Talking about their name until that moment that ends up being they were found alive. And a lot of times the families will sit there and say, okay, we're thank you so much, but we need time to process, we need time to grieve, or we need time with our loved one that we were so lucky enough to have back in our arms. And then what happens? We never hear from that family ever again. Most of the time we don't. Unless it's a once in a while type of thing, or a yearly annual thing of like, we're here to talk about Susan such and such. You know what I mean? And the family sits down, they talk about it again for the 1 year, 2 year, 15, 25 year anniversary, but that's it. And so I say, hey, you know what the Patito and Schmidt family are doing that's so amazing is that they're continuing her voice, but her voice is being spoken through other people's stories and other people's cases. And I think that's just so awesome. And I wish other families would do the same. I'm not sitting here saying every family needs to do it, but I know some of them are wanting to make changes. And I think that's a way of making changes for sure. So yeah, like I said, the family is pretty amazing. And I just, I think that there's a need for other families to do the same. Right. And, the other thing too, and he just chatted in here. He just said, Joseph Patito just said, lead by example. It's that simple. Damn right. You know what I mean? Damn right. But I do want to say this. This is that was the moment, I think, when he, thank you so much, Berenice. I really do appreciate it. But there was a moment that he, that I think a lot of us, myself, was like, yo, who the hell is Joseph Patito? I was like, what's up with Papa Patito? You know what I mean? Was when he was on a news conference, and he said, yeah, we need to be focused on, what's going on with Gabby and figuring out with this whole Brian Laundrie thing and, all that stuff. But we also need to bring more attention to the other stories that don't even get any light under the sun, the Black and brown, the indigenous. What about all these people that don't even get their voices heard at all? He said that during a press conference. And I was like, damn, that's amazing. I was applauding him and everything. I remember doing that live with you guys. I'm like, who dat? Who's Papa Patito? Right? I literally called him Papa Patito with all due love, with all due respect and love. But I was like, damn, this is amazing, right? And then what happened? They have continued to do that. And I feel like they're going to continue doing that to their dying last breath. And I just wish there were... It's nice to know Kristen Mills remembers that. Proof positive is true, because I was like, who is this? Thank you. More families need to do that too, right? I just wish more families would. But, like I said, to each their own, right? Everyone takes tragedy, takes grieving differently. Some people run towards the fire. Some people run away from the fire. Some people wait for the fire to be over. And, of course, write about it later. I don't know. But I do appreciate that panel, because that was a big piece. And then, of course, the other one that I thought was very interesting as well is Black creators that are talking about true crime. There's not a lot. And I wish that there were more Black and brown true crimers out here talking about these cases. Because I feel like if there were more people out here talking about those cases as well, maybe those cases will get to that level, right, of attention, and they turn into a national concern. Carly Russell was a bad situation. It was bad, okay, and absolutely hilarious, but very, very bad. But does that need to be the thing that tarnishes Black women, Black men's cases from ever being looked at and sought after, there's been plenty of white stories of people lying. Okay. Was it Sherry Papini, right? Just for an example, that lied, and fabricated a story that was never true. And yet we are still hearing about missing white people all the time. So just because we have a Carly Russell does not mean that we can't go on and keep continuing to talk and be that voice for the black men, black women, the black and brown people, indigenous individuals as well. We need to be out there and talking. But there needs to be more content creators out here of that as well. It's just interesting. Like I said, it's just really, really interesting. So, like I said, I'm going to keep talking how I talk, right? I'm going to keep covering the cases that get dropped on my lap, but I also am going to try to do my best to bring more awareness to these other cases that, I've talked about a little bit, right? But there are a lot more cases that need to be heard. So I'll be here to talk about it for sure. Like I said, that trip, that CrimeCon was fantastic, but it was also a very big eye-opening moment. You know what I mean? That was needed, for real, needed. I'm just hoping that other people that were in that room were just as moved, as I was. Got interviewed by Laura Ingle. I don't know if I said that earlier, but I got interviewed by Laura Ingle too, which was cool. We got to talk about everything, which was really, really cool. So like I said, there was just a lot of people, a lot of individuals that I got to chop it up with. I got to have a few shots with Brian Enton. That was fun. Okay. We like I said, we all got together and we had a really, really great time. And, talked about true crime, talked about what the next thing we were going to do and all that. It was, like I said, it was fun. Okay. Joseph said, I think we need a Pascal meet and greet at the next CrimeCon. I would love that. I'm down for that. Maybe you can help me out, Patito. Maybe you can help me out, Joe. All right. I would love that though. That'd be hella fun. Melly, thank you so much. Glad you had a great time. You deserve it. Like I always say, you're a real one. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that, Melly. I really appreciate that. Real talk. Like I said, it was cool because, man, see, but if we see now, I would want to. Woo, Nicole, you're putting ideas in my head. I'm telling you, that would be fire. Like a meet and greet cookout. Like, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'll be for that so much. Just no raisins and no potato salads. All right. And everything has to be properly seasoned or we're going to have words. All right. Everything has to be seasoned or we're going to have words. All right. But I'll be down for that. That'll be fire. Are you kidding me? That would be fire. A true crime cookout meet and greet. Man, I gotta write that down. That would be fire. I'm not kidding. That would be fire. All right. Bring some deviled eggs. I love me some deviled eggs. Just make sure they got Make sure they got some seasonings. Okay. Get that slap your mama, get that Lowry's, whatever you need, but just make sure it's seasoned, dagnabbit. Just making sure it's seasoned, man. Damn. Okay. Yeah. Some of y'all just throw the meat on the grill. Y'all don't even, not even salt. You know what I'm saying? Not even a little oil. Nothing. Okay? Oh, God. Anyway. Yeah, but I'd be down for that, for sure. That'd be actually brilliant. Dangerous, but brilliant, So, yeah, I definitely want to do something next year there. If it's a booth, if it's a meet and greet, if it's something, yes, I'm down for it. Yeah, with some karaoke. We do some karaoke or some live music. like a band or something like that. Like I said, I want to do something. I want to do something crazy and fun, you know? So baby steps though. Baby steps. Maybe, yeah, meet and greet would be fun. Okay, I'm going to put that out into the atmosphere. Okay? We're going to put that out. Manifest. All right? And maybe it'll happen next year. We'll see. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. I missed you guys. It was a crazy weekend, but very informative and eye-opening weekend. Real talk. Got to meet some people. Oh, yeah, and met Vinny Politan. I know I said that he interviewed me and all that stuff. But we got to chop it up really quick. And yeah, dope individual. Very, very cool. It was really nice to meet him as well. I'm a fan of his work. Like I'm a fan of Ashley Banfield's show and Julie Grant's show. You know what I mean? So it was nice to and JB, you know what I mean? Like, so it was and Annie Elise. I'm not trying to like leave people out on the list. There were so many great individuals. It was just so dope to see them and talk to them and go, oh, thank God you're cool. You know what I'm saying? Because some people act like their subscriber base. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have 1 million subscribers. What do you do? You know what I mean? It's like, kick rocks, bro. I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? I want to be nice to everybody. If you got 0 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, you're the same to me. You are human with a beating heart. Let's just be nice to each other and have a great time. But some people were kind of, nose in the air like that. And I'm like, all right, you can just enjoy your nose up there. Okay. Hopefully it smells good. You know what I mean? Because I just broke the wind. Anyway, appreciate all y'all. Thank you so much for coming in. You guys are incredible. All right. I got to hop off, unfortunately. All right. But there's a lot more content, a lot more stories we need to do. But I just wanted to bring in Justin with some information on the Micah Miller case. And of course, if there's any new information about that, we go and chop it up. I hope we get more clarity and more transparency in this case. Real talk. And again, for those of y'all that I got to meet at CrimeCon, it was a pleasure meeting every single last one, y'all. I had a great time. And yeah, you guys opened my eyes big time on a lot of stuff. And it is breathing new life. It's breathing new life into the content and into the show and into me, made me feel like I'm on the right path. I know that sounds corny, but it really did wake me up and go, wow, okay, I'm doing something right here. And it feels really, really good. Okay. But like I say all the time, without you guys here, I'm talking to a wall. That is crazy. Okay. And so you guys help me not come off like I'm crazy. So I appreciate you guys. Anyway, please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, crush it, crush it. That'll be amazing. All right. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other channels. That'll be amazing as well. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X/Twitter. Please hit that follow button over there as well. Of course, if you want to become a member, hit that join button down below, become a member, or go check out my Patreon. Okay. Patreon.com/thepascalshow. All right, guys. Appreciate all y'all. Really, it does mean a lot. It was nice meeting you guys, running into a lot of y'all at CrimeCon. There will be another CrimeCon where I'm there. Trust and believe I will be there next year for sure. I had a great time. Unless, scheduling happens like I'm in, flying off to Iceland covering some huge case, then yeah, I can't be there, Boo-hoo. But at the same time, I'll be there. And we're going to chop it up. All right? And maybe it's a cookout with a lot of seasonings. Maybe I'll just bring in seasoning and just hand it to everybody. No. Just dust it one more time with seasoning just to make sure it's all seasoned. No. Don't play me with them deviled eggs. Put some Lowry's on that ish. A little cayenne pepper, paprika, something. You know what I'm saying? And I brought the whole arsenal of seasoning just for your age. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what I got to do. Something to think about. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. I love all of you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And I may be on a little bit later on tonight. Okay, if anything develops in all these other cases, we definitely need to talk about Karen Reed. There's some stuff that's going on today that we need to cover. So I may be doing that tonight. Okay, so it's time to get going. Much love to you guys. I appreciate all y'all. Have a great day. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. See you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.